We are awaiting May non-farm payrolls here, just seeing 272 print coming through here. 272,000 versus 185 expected there. So that's not going to help things as far as the market is concerned. A huge upside print there, unexpected after 2 months in a row to the downside. The prior 165,000, if you remember, going back to last month. But yeah, there it is, 272,000 jobs created in May, much higher than 185,000 expected. The unemployment rate does tick higher, however, 4% versus a 3.9% expectation on that number. Non-farm payrolls total 229 for the U.S. there on the index itself. We also got Canadian jobs there coming through, just hearing the unemployment rate as well, 6.2% versus 6.1%, so an uptick in our unemployment rate as expected. A lot of people talking about that yesterday, 26.7 thousand jobs created versus a mere 5,000 that were expected. So an upside beat there as well on the Canadian side of things. Yeah, there's a market downside in a pretty decent way here to the tune of about 0.25% right now after being positive to start things off this morning. A lot of people had a lot of I guess high expectations, but I mean, it's good, you know, people are getting jobs still right across the entire country of the U.S., but 272,000 versus, I mean, the prior 165,000, they were expecting 185, comes in way higher.
Yeah, good news is still bad news, at least when it comes into this specific category here. The analysts were way off, guys. So Citigroup was looking for 140,000. Goldman, not much ahead of that. They were looking for 160,000. I was just mentioning to Brendo off camera that my analysis here was 190,000. He's like, no, they revised it down to 185. So there you go. Nobody really had a right beat on this. Now, widely expected to have the first rate cut in September. That now you have to question that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. I think there's definitely still going to be one at some point, whether that is now two or, I mean, we were talking to Frank on Thursday. He was even mentioning the possibility of a third, maybe out the window at this point. We'll see what CPI brings. Remember, next week, coming up just on Wednesday, we'll get CPI and the Fed. But yeah, let's recap for anyone just jumping in here a little bit late. Much higher than expected, 272,000 print there for May non-farm payrolls. 151 was the forecast, consensus 185. So yeah, huge upside miss, 4% on the unemployment rate for May versus 3.9% expected. So across the board there, guys, to the upside we go once again.
Wow. So who saw that one coming? Oh my goodness. Like, just when you think the first thing out of my mouth is going to be, who cares about the number as expected? Let's talk about the meme craze, and let's talk about Nvidia, and let's talk about Apple. And all of a sudden you get that number. Look, there's nothing great about that, because all it's going to do is sort of push down the expectations of when we get that cut. The 19,000 level in the NASDAQ is at least bounced, so I suppose that would be a good thing temporarily. But I see this. It's going to be hard to like longs after seeing that. So good thing there's some things that were weak yesterday, like Nvidia. We'll see about AMD. I'm still not completely convinced there. You got the WDC event, and we were just sort of talking, can Apple actually punch through highs before, or did it need to already do it? So I'd be shorting Apple in front of it's like 52-week highs of like 99 something, and then 97 is a resistance level. Nvidia just took 1,200 again. It did on the number, and then it just kind of took it a second time here. So yeah, on the economic number, it went down to like 93, bounced back, and it just took 1,200 a second time. So yeah, look, obviously this is going to be not what everyone anticipated. That said, there were already weakness in a lot of these names, these big cap tech names. Some of them were pretty weak yesterday, and I think you just go right back into that. Well, at 12 o'clock, we get Roaring Kitty. We'll see what he says. But strategic move by GameStop to drop their earnings early, thus allowing them to file for an offering, so they can take advantage of all of this craze.
Yeah, good move there. And then we're going to see, I mean, here goes GameStop right now trying to get back into those lows one more time, trying to break through 38. That bottom here, 36, or 37. The sticky note's going to be out in a couple seconds right now as we work on it. But yesterday I tweeted out near midnight or so, but it was 8 o'clock and we stopped trading in and around $61, $62. And then here's a pushback right back down into 38, 37. We'll see if it can hold 36. That's the 50-period moving average. This is something that I'm looking at. GameStop has to be on your mind. I paid for shorts. They're virtually free over here. So another thing to do. And yeah, ready to go. I mean, it's going to be a Friday. I feel like this could be a free-for-all Friday. That number there, like what the heck are we doing adding 100,000 extra jobs or whatever that report was there that I was watching, trying to find out what this market's doing. Unemployment rate stays the same at 7.4 for May. But yeah, I mean, GME is going to be on my mind today. I also like Apple heading into next week's WWDC conference. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. And then, of course, as Neil just mentioned, I was like, what? It broke through 1,200, but it was only, I remember it was at 1,206 or something when I looked at it earlier. So not a huge move there, but we'll see what happens here with Nvidia as it's starting to go lower. And then AMD, just a quick check on this name as well, 166. So, hey, maybe today we start to go a little lower.
Yeah, we were just talking about yields across the board back to the upside here in a pretty big way. I mean, the 30-year was down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row. So better part of 0.5% here back higher across the board. I mean, they're not monster moves on this to be expected on an upside print, but the dollar higher yields short term right through the 30-year all back to the upside, not going to help the market. At this point as well, I just saw AMC pop up here in front of me as well, 8.6%. We'll keep an eye on all things with short percentages. I saw NVAX flying around this morning as well off that move yesterday. If you remember, we were talking about NVAX in the pre-market here. There's an IPO today. Oh. As if we didn't have enough to think about and talk about and worry about. WAY is coming to market to the tune of, there's obviously nothing to show right now, but to the tune of about $1 billion worth of an IPO here for Waystar.
Yeah, not a company that I've heard of, Brendo, but definitely we'll have eyes on that on the midday How to Trade show. OB in today for Adara. If it launches during the midday, we will definitely have that covered. These IPOs are great. We got Zeekr a few weeks ago live on the midday as well, so we'll keep eyes on this one.
Yeah, Adara enjoying a couple of days off here, much deserved for her. I hope she has a nice long weekend. I think it was 25 to 35. I'll double check on that on the pricing of that. It's obviously not showing anything now for Waystar, guys, but remember this live stream coming up at 12 o'clock. Typically IPOs are 12 p.m., if not later.
I feel like they picked the wrong day to IPO.
Why would you? I mean, Friday seems weird to begin with.
Usually it's midweek. That's the normal thing. IPOs tend to be on Wednesdays if they're big. End of the week, Nvidia split, GameStop going crazy, Apple after. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe there'll be like less eyeballs on it and then that can somehow, there's less resist. You know what, I have no idea, I don't know what to make of this because a lot of times when it's a decent size, I'll be sitting there ready to take an open fill, but it's probably gonna open up. There's nothing to see here, but it's probably gonna open up and what's gonna happen is GameStop will be in the middle of Roaring Kitty saying whatever he's going to say, making his case or talking about how he's still holding. GameStop could be halting multiple times. Like I feel like if I'm looking at something that isn't GameStop, it's going to be AMC. It's going to be BlackBerry like yesterday. It's going to be maybe Novavax or one of these other squeeze names that can make a move. Like everything else is going to be moving, and if GameStop goes into a Halt craze, I'm going to look for things that are related to it. It doesn't mean you can't play the IPOs. If IPOs are your game, that's what's so fantastic about the market. You know, pop up way, we'll see where it opens up. We can always get the tap value for you and get an idea of what the indicated open is going to be and what the open interest. But it's, you know, it's hard on a day like today if you're not into, you know, like the moving stocks and trading squeeze names or big cap tech, because I feel like a lot of eyeballs and the volume and volatility is going to be right there. And we're right back at 19,000 on the NASDAQ, so that little fall is continuing. Here in the overall market, right back into those lows. I'm just going to double check. I wanted to see how Apple was doing. I hadn't really checked that yet. Apple still, it's close enough, still close enough. I don't think we'll see the resistance from the top. I'll change our plan of action because would have liked to have shorted off of the last 2 days highs. But with this move, probably going to have to start thinking about 95 and a 95 half and move the goalpost a little bit with that that payroll number. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We just sort of flipped our script as well. We put out the sticky note out here, and we had some long ideas in here: Apple, GameStop, Tesla, Palantir, Robinhood, and then of course I just added to that as well because we wrote this note before the jobs report. Now much hotter, the market's heading lower, so we're going to sort of have some extra names. So if you are on the sticky note, I put some other names here, AMD and Nvidia. I think if the market's going to head lower, we'll probably see some flushes there. Then a nice top level for Tesla, up at 179 for a possible shorter. Then Google coming into 180, may have to start that around 178. So a couple new ideas there. 5, 6, 7, 8 of them on the sticky note, both long and shorts here, because yeah, I think it's over with now. I think that move here is not good at all. I mean, it's just signaling that, hey, maybe instead of getting those 2 cuts, maybe now we'll get 1. Maybe they push the can down a little bit further down the road here, and we don't get that instant rate cut coming in the next couple meetings. Who knows when, but I don't know, man. Breaking through this 19,000, that's what we were going to be using today as support. So that support is gone. I mean, it's perfect because we're going to have Michael Noss coming through. And I mean, who else to talk about different levels of concern? But again, we've seen markets hit tops and pull back down in, you know, and today I think we're just giving the market reasons to do that. You know, I mean, sometimes it doesn't need reasons. I mean, sometimes you get CEOs signing stuff, you know, on where they possibly shouldn't be. Sometimes you get Forbes, which Michael's talked about that, coming out with pictures on, you know, covers of magazines that signal tops. So let's see. I mean, we're getting a nice push down. The NASDAQ's down 0.5%, but the resilience of the market continues to be true. And I mean, we could be up 2% by the time this market closes today, or we could be down 2%.
I have a feeling we might not be up 2%.
No, I mean, not with that number. I'm flipping to shorts. Like I was bidding Apple as soon as that number came out. I was bidding Apple 193, and then I mean I put the bid in there, and then the number came out, and then I was like, oh, that's worse. I instantly hit escape, and now we're coming back down to the downside. So that could break for sure.
85 on Nvidia.
Yeah, Tesla down here at 173. I really like that level, and then I guess here we go again, everybody. Nvidia starting to lose rate now pretty good in this pre-market. They lost 1,200 going down to yesterday's level. We were here yesterday. This is when we had that $30 winner, and it bounced right here. Yesterday it bounced right here. We were short 1223 yesterday, and we got it out down here. Here goes the break, lower, 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 lower. This market, do we have that red one? I only have the market. Hilarious. Oh, here we go. This is the market red, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
I had an offer actually already out for before the number that I will cancel. Because AMD, I thought if the market went up, I was going to short 171. It's time to cancel that, or no, I just cancel it now. Like, what are we even thinking about? Like I said, you have to move the goalpost when a number like this happens. It's getting nasty. But we got Michael. I know he's going to be excited for 12 because I can't think.
He's locked and loaded for GME.
Look,
baby.
I can't think of a single trader,
right?
Not one, that will be more excited for Warren Kitty at 12.
But thing is that no, in all honesty, Michael was on. No, but he was on with me Monday night, and we had mentioned trading GME as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look decent. He did talk about looking at GME, so I'm sure he does have some thoughts. But I mean, we just keep rambling on when we have a perfect guest waiting. So let's go back to the desk.
I'm chuckling, Michael Noss, because of the email you sent me this morning that so clearly described your sentiment towards this day today. So feel free to share if you like. I'll leave that up to you.
Absolutely.
You wanted to talk a little bit about earnings and holes that have been created in gaps because of said earnings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So first of all, that email was, hey, I've got something for you that's not about this, failing retailer and this cat guy. I think that's something to that respect. So, again, I feel like every trader that comes on anywhere has to talk about GameStop. I'm just going to say the same thing I said, all of the other kind of pump and dumps and craziness that's gone on. Just have a plan, right? Understand it can drop 50% in a minute. No one knows what's going to happen with this stream. It could rally 200% in a minute. So, just have a plan, YOLO responsibly is all I have to say about that. But yeah, this is my favorite time of quarter. I come every quarter with this particular scan that I absolutely love. Again, you can email me or you can go to info@trade-ideas.com, email them. Or yeah, my Twitter's right there as well. You can reach out and we get the scan. But the idea behind this is very, very simple. And again, I just love this setup. The day traders, the guys that you watch every day, they love the day that earnings comes out, and maybe the next day, and then if it's really crazy, maybe the following day. Swing traders like me want to see earnings for a long period of time go by. And the reason for that is that you generally get these nice setups. So I'm someone who I'm purely technical. There was some number that just came out. I have no idea what it is, and I don't know, what the effect is on it. I don't follow the fundamentals at all. But I know there's people that do, and I know the fundamentals are important. Just because I don't follow them doesn't mean I don't think they're important. It's just I don't know anything about them. So what I'm able to do within Trade Ideas is say, show me everything that reported earnings, anywhere between, let's say, 5 and kind of 20 days ago. So in that month period, and they're up from in that period of time, in that 5 or 20 day. And what I get is a scan that shows me all kinds of names, some of which look great and some of which not so much, but names that reported earnings and are up. And the simple trading setup that I love with this is that you just find patterns for these continuations. The idea being that if after earnings the stock pulls back, there's some sort of support in there, there's somebody buying, somebody who understands this change in fundamental, some sort of large institution, and then we get a break in the direction of the trend, then we get to ride on the coattails of all of the work that all of these fundamental analysts do by being technical analysts. So on all of these cases, you'll see this vertical yellow bar. That's the earnings date. And what I'm looking for is some sort of consolidation or pullback that looks like it's holding, and then a break in the other direction. So the one we have up here, for example, is Fiverr. Again, you can see that yellow vertical line, nice gap up, ran for a couple days, showing that there were some people chasing this momentum, pulled back into, this 25-ish area. You can see that was support before. So if this breaks out today or tomorrow with what the market's doing right now, then I'm going to look to buy this one. And again, my stop goes under this line to say, okay, if that area of support that the fundamental people are putting in, if that leaves, it's time to go. So the next one here is TEVA. TEVA. This one's really strong. You can see that earnings candle. It opened right at the low of the day, and then it ran all day, and then ran for about a week after. And now it's just been consolidating ever since, putting in this very typical triangle. Again, I love these because you can take the fundamental analysis and the change in fundamentals that occurred, and we can just apply basic technicals. Like this is just an ascending triangle. I'm sure everybody who's read any technical analysis book knows exactly what this is. So we're just looking to see if the upper end of this triangle breaks, and then the lower end would be our stop loss here. Next one is ASC, shipping company. And just important to note, if I see themes when I'm going through these scans, I like to point them out. A lot of shipping companies reported positive earnings and broke in the direction of this trend. So, maybe a shipping index or something is something you want to take a look at. Just, again, a nice downward channel here, about $23 or so would be the breakout on this one. 4% short float, but that represents 2 days to cover. So we know those shorts might be hurting a bit. So that could be a little bit of a pop if we get that move. That's a nice slow moving one. Next one is PSFE. No idea. PaySafe. This is a European or a British company, I guess. Just gapped up and then consolidating. So again, what I'm looking for is that as it pulls into the gap, there's buyers that step in, and we've seen that twice now. So looking for this to break, and that's about, I think, 18-ish a share would be the break on that. Last but not least, this is one that's more of kind of a pullback play. This last chart here on Goose, on Canada Goose, GOOS. They make coats. I like the look of this one, not so much the range that it's going to break, but if we anchor a VWAP, which is where I drew the line to, if we anchor a VWAP right before that gap, it's pulling back into that VWAP. So I really like the look of that, because if we find support there, we can get a nice little pullback. And I circled above that this one, it has a 25% short float and 12 days to cover. So if we do end up getting support there and pushing higher, the shorts that were trapped as this earnings gap happened, they may be forced to cover. Who knows? Maybe some Reddit phenomenon will come out and talk about Canada Goose next, and we'll be all talking about Canada Goose all day, every day.
This gives us a little bit of an opportunity on that Goose chart there to talk about something that we've had some questions on in the past. In that case where you have an anchored VWAP, 200 period, whatever, that the stock is pulling back into, it's worth mentioning, we're not sitting there with an order just waiting to step in and buy at that line. You want to see confirmation first.
Yeah, and I think Brian Shannon says this the best. He says, "Don't buy the dip, buy the strength after the dip." So we're looking for a pullback, and then if you're someone who zooms into a more intraday chart, maybe you're looking for strength on that chart. For me, I'll use something like a 30-minute chart, and if I see us bouncing and starting to move off that level, that's where I'll take more of a trade. It won't just be because it hits that price. That's where I want to get involved. It's I love the quote: "Don't buy the dip, buy the strength after the dip."
How much attention, if any at all, do you pay on the other side of the equation here? The ones we looked at, obviously all gapping to the upside, holding higher. On a day like this, when we get a miss on the NFP number, the market appears to be headed to maybe a weak end to the week here. Are you looking at any of these types of setups to the downside as well?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that if you are someone who likes to swing short. I personally, and this is just from running my stats over years, I'm just not good at swing trading to the short side. And the asymmetric risk of a gap up versus a gap down just makes me a little bit nervous. So if what I'm generally going to do, if I'm worried about the market pulling back, I am going to probably take that trade in some sort of ETF that eliminates that gap risk. So I will, either buy in double inverse or triple inverse for a couple of days, or take that in something that I'm not worried that it's going to, gap up 1,000% or something on myself. So you can do it. I would just say if you are going to short and you're going to swing short, you just need to understand that asymmetric risk. So just size accordingly. Maybe take your shorts a little bit smaller than you would your long.
Great stuff as always. As we, there's still earnings, but we're getting to the end of the major ones, anyways, for this reporting season. Michael Noss, have a great weekend. We'll speak again on Monday.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks as always, Michael. And there's a name I know that just reported that that phrase of "don't buy the dip, buy the strength after the dip" certainly applies to, and that would be CRM. Sometimes it's like really, really obvious. And when I look at this chart, because I pulled it up, I'm like, what's CRM doing today? Is there a trade? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But there's your dip. If you tried it on the first day, kind of nasty. But look, the second day, obviously that's going to be the biggest move to the upside. However, if you look at the strength after, you gap up, you then hold the gap. Right, so there's resistance, there's a late day close, then you support that, you support it for a couple of days in a row, and then you've got the long off 230, like double bottoms off 230, and you've got that support level over previous resistance, allow it to make a bottom, join said bottom, and it's just been gently trending up. Did pretty well yesterday to hold on to some of those gains. You don't always have to get the best price. If you're with the trend, it's a lot better than trying to start the trend, because the big money is going to usually determine where all that happens anyway. So you might as well follow as opposed to try to anticipate. There was a decent bounce there. I chuckle because we're right back at 19,000 on the futures, but Nvidia did manage to get back up to like 1190, 1192, where it's trading now, and then the NASDAQ as well pressing right back into the 19,000 level. So maybe that support at 19,000 can turn into some resistance. Still a long way to go to the open, over 30 minutes to go, so you want to be patient. Does feel as if that 19,000 is going to be a big level regardless. If it's not support, then it's still a level for us to use. It's like 12,000 on Nvidia. If it's not going to be a support level today, after it broke out there yesterday really, really late in the day, then maybe it turns into a resistance level we can trade off of.
I was just saying to Neil, it's a PA day here in Toronto, and my daughter's at the Blue Jays clinic, so got the Blue Jays hat on. Hopefully she'll send a picture, and she's already met 4 or 5 of her friends from the league already there today. So it's going to be a good day. It's supposed to rain, but I think it's going to be all good now. Yeah, look, I don't know. Now I'm kind of changing my tune again. Like the fact that the market's not really going down. I mean, I thought we were going to really get going, especially when we broke that 19,000. But the fact that we're all the way back up to here now makes me think, I don't know. Maybe some of the levels that we talked about are going to be good to go, like that Apple down there at 193. I mean, we just bounced off 193.50. Maybe that's going to be good. Tesla got that dip back a little bit lower as well. And then Google was a name that I was debating going short on because it's just at these, again, psychological level of 180 and highs. I mean, this just looks like Apple again, but Apple at least has... Uh-oh, where'd that chart go? Apple at least has the WWDC there, but here's Google right here. I like this level to go short against a bad what was a great jobs number, but potentially bad for the market there coming through of 180. So, you know, there's a couple trades here that I'm looking at that will take hands off. We still have 25, 35 minutes until the market opens. So let's see what happens. We're just bouncing now through 19 back to the downside. So that's nice. So bouncing off 19 to go lower. Not nice for, you know, longs, but I think nice to be able to flip short at some point here. And then Nvidia held at 1180, right? So there it is, right? Almost the same level as yesterday. Like, so despite getting that number and a possible change in tide here, we still bounced $3 off of yesterday's low. So let's see. This is going to be a wild, wild day, and we're going to get to it, but like GME right here is pumping like it's already done 40 million shares. Like this is going to be something today, man. I mean, look at the prints going through here. It's nonstop. This stock is going to be absolutely, I mean, 12 o'clock. Are we just punching long at 1150 and seeing what happens? Like, I mean, it's going to be insane what this stock winds up doing. I mean, imagine he comes on live and says, I cashed out yesterday of everything at 43 or something like that. I doubt that's happening, but all right, let's go on back to the desk here. We have, you know, again, 35 minutes till Friday.
That'd be a hell of a troll if he did that.
Something's going to happen. Yeah. We should see. All right, analyst moves time. Here's some upgrades and downgrades for you. Lyft, a couple days in a row here. Bank of America today with a nice note on Lyft. Shout out to ON, if anyone has ever tried their shoes. My wife just bought a pair. She loves them very much. So, really? Yeah, decent for running specifically. Anyways, SoFi, American Express, Affirm, Discover, all downside.
I just saw that. I mean, I saw SoFi over there, and I'm like, really, SoFi? Like, you don't need to slap a downgrade on the stock when it's already not doing anything. That's not fair. But Affirm could be a bit interesting today. Look, if it's going to be a weekday, and obviously a lot can change from now until the open. As Sean mentioned, we can regain 19,000, all that good stuff. But when I look at the range, this is not that complicated. It's got a 30 bottom yesterday, 30.15, and then closed right up there like $1 higher. And if you look at the way that it's traded, with the exception of, looks like Thursday, Wednesday here, you've been trading inside a range. Like, it's been giving you, there's a support at 28.5 that holds for a while. There's resistance at 30 that holds for a while. So this could be a stock where if it just gets to the top, and you want to short something, 31.30, the downgrade doesn't really matter to me. It's just about observing the range before. We saw this happen with Rivian, where Rivian just for whatever reason decided that it wanted to play inside the same range for like 3 days in a row. And if you just bought the bottom and sold the top, you just won. So I think Affirm is kind of looking the same way. Although I'd still lean to shorting it at 31 as opposed to long 30. But cross that bridge when we get there. Rivian, despite being down 1.8%, 11.50, it's on that march to $12.
Is this good report payroll surge more? Hello, Sean. Is this good report payroll surge more? Hey, what's up, CompuCare? Yeah, surge. I mean, I think it just shows how strong the economy is again, which might lead to believing that, or at least the jobs market there, strength, and therefore a possible pause in the cutting of rates, which everybody's looking for. So that's why, I mean, I thought a hot number coming in would create a downside push. I mean, that is exactly what happened, but it's being bought up, and it might be because of what you're saying there. It's like, is that not just encouraging for the economy? And yeah, probably. I mean, the market already doesn't care. And by the way, there's a whole bunch of D-prints going through now at $62, $63. Like, I don't know what's going on now on GameStop. I'm not charting them. And I don't know if
it's all this overnight stuff.
Yeah, it's all. I'm just letting people know. Like, if you're seeing that on your platforms, like I don't see it on eSignal or Trade Ideas or anywhere, but I'm just looking at it. And part of the volume that's going through is listed posts that aren't even trading. So could be, I don't know what it is. Blue Ocean late reporting. I don't know, but anyways, lots of $64, $65 marks going through there. But yeah, look. So this is going to be something. We've already marked down here on the sticky note today that we liked 36. 36 already came in and held 3 or 4 times since we wrote the note back here at 8 o'clock. It's held there. It's the 200 period. It's held twice. We should probably be long down here in and around 36. But let's wait to see what happens here with GameStop. Might take a position if we get that dip one more time. I hate all these prints though going off. That's sucky. But all right, let's go back over to the desk and see if GameStop can dip back in one more time.
All right, let's do a quick recap here. Lots of people joining us this morning. Good to have everyone. If you're new, hi. We do this every single day. The market's open. Here we go. Non-farm payrolls for May, 272,000, much higher than the 185 expected for last month. The unemployment rate ticking higher as well, 4% versus 3.9%. So, yeah, I mean, overall, great for people getting jobs, obviously. Market not going to look at it as positively, hoping for rate cuts to come in the near future here. Participation rate, notably, did actually go down. So 62.5% versus 62.7% expected there. Not that that means much, but all right, let's get a look at the overall market.
All right, guys, we closed out yesterday on the ES June contract at 53.64. We were hovering at those levels for a couple of days. That takes us back to all-time highs that we put in on May 23rd. So to the high side, let's go ahead and say the closing print from yesterday, because we're well below it right now, 53.65. To the low side for support, you can see we consolidated at this level from May 30th to June 4th at 53.10. If we keep going down, look for support at that 10-point level.
All right, if you have not done so yet, make sure you grab that. It's free from us to you every single day. It comes right to your inbox. You just go to the website, enter your email into the pop-up, and that's about it. Let's talk about GME, top of everyone's mind this morning. Earnings? And then they also file for this potential $70 million offering as well. So huge, huge monster run up, not only into the close yesterday, but after the fact, after the market closed yesterday, all the way to $67 at the high. You were saying you were having a look at it in the post-market on overnight trading, but that's crazy. Ends the day, what was it, 46, goes all the way to 67. We're right back to 35 here this morning.
I want to participate in the hype, Brendo, and there was plenty of hype yesterday. Traded this one right into 8 p.m. at the close, and then I just didn't have enough. Got onto the Blue Ocean gateway there, which trades 24 hours, and traded very hard trading on Blue Ocean. Can't really see the level 2 all that well. All right, net sales here, what Sensei reported earnings, 881 million. That's down 29% year over year. That's their net sales. Year over year change in sales. They were looking for 900 million to 1.09 billion. They missed that. It's a $32.3 million net loss for profitability. So nothing really has changed fundamentally with the company, Brendo, but trading wise, we all know that doesn't matter.
Well said.
Fundamentals don't matter. No, but that's actually 100% true.
Right? Not in this case. Well, no, fundamentals matter in this case. That's why it's down, right?
Okay, they matter, but when we're trading, it's not like, yeah, I know, you're absolutely right. Like, the fundamentals do matter. The key thing about the offering, or at least the earnings, why they came out, is because they got to do it so they can do that offering, or at least want to file it. So it's basically just filing that 75 million. At the end of the day, I'm going to divide this into two. Like, this is pre-market to open to Roaring Kitty, and then during Roaring Kitty, and then after Roaring Kitty. I have no idea how long his stream is going to be, but let's just imagine that he ends it in like an hour. Who knows? So in the pre-market, I don't want to get too wrapped up. I was looking at 35 and 32 a little bit. 32 I thought was going to be a bit of a dip. I did trade it a lot earlier at the 40 level, which actually wasn't great because I didn't scalp, and I actually got stopped out, thought I had the bottom. But I want to try for breakouts and like a post-halt off the open. I've said this before, but today I really think there's going to be a chance of a halt this morning off the open, and I want to play the first one. So I actually just remembered, I hadn't even paid for low case till Sean said it. I'm like, oh yeah, I know it's forgetting to do something. But if this halts to the upside off the open, I'm taking the first halt. If it halts to the downside, I'm not convinced that I want that halt to the downside, because it's likely it'll be at a support level that I want to dip into. But I'm looking for breaks like yesterday in the afternoon. I prefer breaks. Give me consolidations higher. And after the open, I think you are going to see a couple of halts today on the stock.
All right, so we're already in the money, almost $2 right now. So, I mean, this is part of the trade. We're in the money. We posted it. It's on the sticky note. We said that that 36 held, so we're going long, and we're long right now, $1.50 in the money. I mean, we could take it out here. Let's hold it, right? I mean, $40. We could take a piece out at 40 and then see what winds up happening, you know, once he steps on the mic. But like I was just saying to Rivian Millionaire, he's like, hey, hold until he comes on. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting stopped out. It's not... I'm not looking or chasing P&L here or anything. This is just a matter of we want to get long the stock, and now we're $1.70 in the money and probably up good enough. Who knows where the day is going to be today, but this is a decent trade already here in the pre-market. We got it twice. But again, this could fall back in, right? And so I think if you're trading these names, you have to figure out what pocket you're in. And I mean, like Neil said, there's going to be lots of trading opportunities here today. If you want to hold it, hold it. If you want to scalp out that $2, it was just there for you. And then you're going to look back and say, oh, well, now I can get long again. This is the game. It's people are going to buy and sell this thing. It was bad. Report was not great. 75 million share offering, bad, 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 bad. So, I mean, it was up at $60. Then the news came out. Now it's back down to $40, right? More news going to happen at noon. When you get the largest activist, let's call it like it is, in the name coming out, right? Dan Loeb can come out and pen a letter to anybody he wants and say, I believe the value of Chevron is too low. I'm loading up on the stock. He could say that, right? So this is what Roaring Kitty's doing, and we're going to hear his case for it, I guess, at noon. He's not registered anywhere. We don't have to take his advice if we don't want to. This is just a posted position. So let's see what winds up happening. I'm feeling confident putting something near $40. If it rips up to that level, then hey, it will be a money stream deck was working before. It will be a money-making opportunity. So let's wait to see. Let's put an offer at 40. If we get a piece out there, we get a piece out there, and then we just watch it climb from that point. So, I mean, so far so good. We're long at $37. It's at $38.50, so that's a win.
Pushing 2 on the relative volume scale already for AMC, north of 25 million shares traded already at 907 here. So, I mean, the charts look identical. Trying to bounce above 545.
Yeah, moving in sympathy, obviously, with the AMC. So you got to keep your eyes on these meme stocks. Keep your eye on the heavily shorted names, because once one runs, you can see movement in others. There's no real headline here for AMC, obviously, but there was that summer movie thing that they announced a few weeks ago, I believe, where the family can go and see a bunch of movies for a discounted price.
Yeah, another one active here. I mentioned this one earlier. Was I mean, it's not going to follow them one-to-one, but heavily shorted, as you were mentioning, 33% almost for NVAX. Had a nice flush there early on this morning. It's trying to get back to the upside. Higher than 2 already, guys, relative volume speaking here for NVAX today.
I'm sticking with the thesis the last couple of days and weeks with this GameStop and these other meme names, and that's look for longs on GME, look for shorts on others when GME goes down. So if we do get, like if we get a down halt on, let's just say GameStop down halts right away at the open, if there's a chance to quickly grab a reasonable short on AMC, which I've paid for, then you see a resistance at 550. So let's imagine we're here at the open and GameStop flushes, starts going into a down halt, and you can still short like in here 30s, like 40, something tight to that level, and then scalp it. Like that will be the plan of action for me. BlackBerry's not going to go up, so I don't think we get that one. Novavax might be a different story here today, but I'll look at AMC first. But imagine if that was at $20 and curling or something, and GameStop falls apart, and GameStop's in a halt, and you can't trade it. Then a tight little short in there, risking 30, 40 cents, whatever, and that it comes back down can be great. And it works the same way with a break. If GameStop breaks out and goes into an up halt, you might be able to punch into AMC as well. Or Novavax, or Faraday Future, or it doesn't really matter which one. If they happen to start going together and you can't trade during the halt, then pop on over to another one, just have it up. I'm likely to be GameStop AMC today, but there's lots out there that you can have a quick look at on the off chance that you find yourself with the ability to fade a move or get into a move on sympathy. It's a pretty simplistic trade. If it's there, it's there. If the stock has already made a big move when you go into a halt, then you don't have to do anything. But if there's a chance that you can get short off the top when GameStop halts down, you got to take it. To me, I'll take it on AMC.
All right, here's the we traded GameStop yesterday, and I think it was the P&L number 1 on the show. So we're going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with one stock. I do like the idea though of getting into AMC if all hell's breaking loose in GME. But if all hell's breaking loose over here, then this is where I want to be. So I'm going to stick with GameStop. But I do like it, especially on that halt sort of strategy there. So play both. But for me, I'm just going to be sticking with GME. So based on that, I didn't really even look at AMC. I have my, like my bread, although yesterday the bread was buttered with GameStop, and we talked about that. We even talked about holding it into the after hours, and we talked about that on the after show. And it started popping like crazy, and that was the trade. So I feel like we're doing fine on it. And then we have our big trades with Apple and Tesla, Robinhood, and Palantir. I mean, those stocks were absolutely monsters yesterday, and we nailed them. Like we had the Palantir long, we talked about that. Apple was a great trade. Tesla yesterday moved around. And then Robinhood, that bottom that we had, Robinhood's not even on the list today, but as a day 2 play, I mean, we nailed that one yesterday down here on Robinhood, and now you're coming right back into these levels again. So we're gonna have to see if we can hold back to where we were yesterday, in and around 22, trying to break below 21.80 again. This is where we bought yesterday. We were long at 21.85 or something there yesterday after first slipping up at 22. Let's see if we get that opportunity again here on Robinhood.
All right, let's go on to DocuSign here. A bit of a confusing move to the downside here this morning. There's not a lot in the way of negativity around this, but down to the tune of 7.8%, trying to hold $50 here for support. You and I were just noting, I mean, the only thing that's maybe a little bit questionable is the forecast for Q2 billings, but everything else was a beat, including $1 billion worth of a buyback.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good look. I mean, still confused as to why, and I'll get to the analyst ratings in a second. But revenue, $710 million. That's up 7.3% year over year. Earnings per share beat decidedly by 10 cents. They printed 82. The street was looking for 72. All the metrics, non-GAAP billings up $710 million, up from 689 last year. It didn't impress the analysts at Baird, who cut it from 65 to 55, nor did it impress the analysts at Bank of America Securities, who cut it to 60 from 72 as well. Needham also reiterating their hold on the stock.
Yeah, much more to look at today, maybe on the exciting scale as well. But almost 300,000, I guess, at this point in volume traded here this morning. So not a lot of attention.
Look, if it goes to 10%, you probably know what I'm already going to say. You look at the daily chart of DocuSign. Look, it doesn't really matter that they beat top and bottom and did a buyback. If the stock is down, it's because the market has reacted to it negatively. So it doesn't matter if you think it's a good report. They didn't really have anything that missed egregiously. 49 is the low from February, so that's a big level. It's SSR at, I don't know, like, it's underneath $50 that it goes short sell restricted, just slightly underneath $40. So when that happens, if that happens, I'll look for an SSR bounce either at 49.5 or 49, that level on the daily, maybe not the 50 level, but that's a play. It's like one of those shot plays. It's like going long in front of size, only with that bounce, I'm looking for it to either wipe out that low, get past 10%, regain it quickly, or bounce off of it, put in some kind of like a support level, and then jump back in, usually into VWAP for DocuSign. So if I trade DocuSign, it should be for that play and that play alone.
Oh man, we should have got more GameStop down there. We almost hit it. We were bidding 36 and change. I think it got down to like 36.30 or something there. Hold on a second. Let me just check where that did get. I was staring right at it. It got down to 36.50s, 36.40s. Yeah. So we're a little bit later than that. Okay, breaking out through 38. Let's go. We're back in that money right now for GameStop, back into the dollar winner. Look, DocuSign is falling apart. I mean, ever since we recommended the stock when we talked about it for the buyout. And it just started to rip off of these levels. This is where we liked it, 47, 48. Then all of a sudden, we get that buyout announcement, possible looking into it, and then they couldn't get the funding for it. And since then, we haven't really heard much. So yeah, unfortunately, you're right at a tipping point now with DocuSign. It looks like it does want to break through this $48, $49 level. So I stay away from this, man. Down 8%, very bad looking chart. It's almost the other way around. It's like instead of like flipping and saying, get this garbage out of here from down here, it's like they really did not like this up here at $60. So they got it going, 63, 64, again, through levered buyout talks and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, it tried to go again, could not break through $60, $61. And then it's just a straight downside turn for DocuSign. So for me, it's a big time stay away. And it's actually a fade on any pops. So normally we look at VWAP, so this is only at $51 right now. I don't think that's good enough. Let the market settle down, give us some real reasons to buy this, or sorry, to sell this name, and then I think we'll be fading this pop because it looks like it's gonna break 50. 50 is gonna be a key level here today on DocuSign.
If you were worried about not having enough to look at today, here's another thing to keep in mind. Coming up at some point, typically this afternoon or in the afternoon after lunch, is when they make their way to market. WAY will make its debut on the NASDAQ today. 2150, 45 million shares, quick math. That's pushing $1 billion on the notional side of things, so it's not small.
Yeah, JP Morgan underwriting this one. We're going to have a launch price likely. Well, we don't know what the open price will be, but the IPO price that they sold to the underwriters at, $21.50. They're putting a float there of about 45 million shares, so keep your eye on that. Essentially, it's a healthcare payment software company. They're out of Utah. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they do when they open up, probably on the midday.
Yeah, I don't even see a, yeah, it hasn't even populated yet, an expected price at this point, but we will keep you updated.
Earlier, like the timing of it's probably not going to be great when these things usually open up in the middle of the day because everyone's going to be paying attention to GameStop at noon. Like, let's be real. Like, people that don't even trade GameStop are going to be watching GameStop and listening to what's going on there and any names related to it. So when it opens, if it's fantastic, I'm probably going to end up missing it. I will not be taking the opening print, but we've seen that story before. Sometimes they'll find some support right away off the open. You kind of take that opening print or take that first level of support and then see if it can go. That's generally a good trade on decent IPO, but I'm probably not going to have it. If you're looking for something that is moving, maybe isn't going to be, you know, your GameStop or your Nvidia, like small cap. There is that Vero, Venus Concept here, VERO. This is a low float runner that's actually performing pretty decently so far today. I don't want to say it's going to be running a ram shot or anything crazy, but you know, it's up 170%, doing 20 million in volume. They regained compliance with the NASDAQ minimum requirement. So back over $1. Higher lows, if this can hold a pattern. It's only a 4.5 million float, and when the float is that small, typically I don't like shorting. I like looking for trend long because it gets soaked up. It's already done 5 times the float on that name. I think that might be a little more interesting. If you're some reason not looking at big cap tech or Nvidia, or you're not looking at GameStop, this is going to do a lot of volume to keep you occupied while you wait around for that IPO, which unfortunate timing for them.
Yeah, I mean, you want all eyes looking at your play, right? So this Waystar Holdings here, going to be coming out 45 million shares, 21.50 a share. So we'll just be able to find out, there it is, where the tap is when it comes through, and then we'll just let you guys know. Because the play is you just go long off the IPO and then see if it holds that price. We've seen that happen over and over again. Right now, it's obviously in a halted state, so we're just going to have to wait for it. But we are right now, is it back up? Yes, it is right there because GameStop is back into a Dollar Club member again. And yeah, we only have, wow, we still have 12 minutes. Jeez, man, this is gonna take a minute to open up here. All right, so yeah, $40 coming through. The only problem with GameStop here off the open is the imbalances, right? And so let's just have a quick look here. So right now it's a sell-in balance of 200,000 shares. So that's interesting, isn't it? Like maybe the momentum isn't going to be here right off the open if we do get that sell and balance. But we've seen these things flip over, and nothing matters until 9:30. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening there. Because it's a sell and balance, it might even be holding the stock down a little bit. You know, if that does flip, that could be an instant ignite. Like, you just need someone to come in to buy 226,000 shares right now, and then that will not buy it in the open market, but put it in to the market on open. If someone puts in a big buy order into the market on open, then they can flip this. They can do the paired value. So that's what this is. So right now, at the beginning, it was 600 or 650, whatever that adds up to, 1,000 shares. So they've come in and bought 400,000 of that offer. So right now, there still are 226,000 shares that are going to be sold on market on open. But again, that can flip with one order, I'd assume, at this point. We've already done 42 million shares here on GameStop. But remember what I was saying, I feel like we're counting a lot of these dark pools in here. I don't know if that's exactly true, but they've seemed to slow down, but they're still coming in all the time, these high wick prints. So if you do see them on your level 2, you won't see them on the level 2, but on the time and sales, they are old prints. So we're still going long GME, but let's go over and talk about NVIDIA. I mean, I think that we made yesterday, honestly, probably the trade, maybe the trade of the show for me, since this year, was this short at VWAP right there. We wound up making $30. It did go 40 in the money for us just on the last 20%, but that was a really good trade for us. Let's see if we can find VWAP again here today. But let's go hear the story. NVIDIA, $3 trillion.
Continue to sell this thing into the split, or before the splits and profit taking after just an absolute monster year, including better part of 8% just this week. But yeah, a lot of people, yeah, no kidding, be patient on NVIDIA, just getting absolutely smoked the past couple of days here.
Yeah, apparently this analyst looking for a big down move in NVIDIA or a nice pullback in order to get in. But as Brendo mentioned, this one is going to be a bit of a different price come Monday because they're doing that 10-to-1 split. Oftentimes, this has a way of dragging retail investors into the name. But to be honest with you, with a lot of brokerages now offering fractional shares, I believe kind of these splits have maybe kind of lost their luster in the way that they used to have them. We'll have to wait and see till Monday.
Yeah, it was the third one to join the $3 trillion club this week, guys, for NVIDIA.
$3 trillion. It didn't last, like that passing of Apple and all that good stuff, that euphoria was gone pretty quickly at the open. Like when we talk about a failed breakout, like the best example of a failed breakout that I've seen in a very long time would have been Nvidia yesterday. Breaking, everything was fresh highs, 1250. It was looking pretty good right away, and you're like, yeah, okay, fine, consolidate up there, go again. Maybe we'll see 1300. And once it started dumping, it didn't stop dumping. I think at this point, it's pretty clear this 1180 level where you had good support there for the initial move a couple of days ago, and then a double bottom, now a triple bottom. It's going to have to chew through that. But down 1.5%, I don't love the number that we got, although we are pressing back higher in the market. I still feel like resistance is resistance. So this and AMD to a certain extent. I mean, there's 1225 up there. I actually said in my note 1230 because I like these close. I like that little top up there. So if it gets up to that price and it can't really break out, I'd look for another kind of like pump and dump moment. Now, otherwise, just wait for the support to come in, show itself. If you stand in front of the falling knife, you get hurt. If you bounce off a level and then try and take the higher low, it's just an easier in. I'd rather miss the trade to make the trade. AMD, I was saying 171 I liked. Clearly, we're not going to get that price. So I guess got to look back to the afternoon resistance at like 168, 169 and a half on advanced micro devices.
All right, before I go on and review NVIDIA, I want to remind everybody that this rundown is brought to you by American Heirs, trading the USA under the symbol AAIRF and in Canada under the symbol Wi-Fi. This company just announced a knockout punch, a global marketing partnership with the UFC. Heirs Tech is dedicated to bridging the gap between technology and wellness. Heirs Tech mission is to provide cutting-edge solutions that protect against electromagnetic radiation without disrupting everyday use of technology. I'll take that. This innovative company has seen consistent revenue growth and boasts several high-profile customers like Russell Brand and top UFC athletes. Invest in American Heirs today over there on the OTC markets with AAIRF and here on the CSE with symbol WIFI. Wi-Fi is what it's all about. And you can operate a good Wi-Fi network if you are run by millions and millions of Blackwell chips, I'd imagine, and it might even solve the world, apparently. So right now, we're going to watch out to see what NVIDIA has in store for us off the open. The thing about it is the NASDAQ has recovered completely, in my opinion, from that number. I mean, it's been able to digest the jobs report, and now it's fine with it. So I'm fine with it too. I mean, I'm still leaning short because I feel like it's a bad thing. But honestly, this was the moment right there when it came out and it kept going. And all the bears were like, we got it, we got it, we got it. Then it was like, do we? And then we come right back into VWAP, and now we're trying to hold that. So let's wait to see what happens with the market. There's no way I'm fighting NVIDIA against whatever the market's doing, but NVIDIA's going to the downside. And if the market wants to continue this way, then I believe this short is basically, you know, the trade that we need to be looking for. And if that's going to be VWAP up here near 1200, the 200 period near 1205, pre-market highs in and around 1210. So let this thing move around. But yeah, NVIDIA has to be on everybody's radar. And I just want to say, like, I lost. So we had this $12 or $13 winner real early. Then we gave it all back trying to chase this dream to the downside when we were trying to buy it, thinking it was going to hold 1200. It didn't hold 1200 at all. It gave up $70 in 3 minutes. $70. This is 1250. This is 1180. So let's call it $60, $65 in basically a straight line. On what, right? Yesterday we just had, oh, let's just sell NVIDIA day. So now today we actually have a jobs number which could send this thing lower, but it really hasn't. There's the moment, and here's the hold. So I still think 1185 is going to be something to look for. If you are short, you may want to cover something there before holding out for that 1180 break. So NVIDIA is definitely going to be on my mind, but not early. I'm not chasing this thing around. I want it to tell me what to do first. I'm not going to tell it what to do because I always lose. It reminds me of a lot of other situations. 164 down there for AMD is a good level, and then 169. So right now you're in the middle of yesterday's trade. Kind of seems ridiculous to do anything with that. All right, so the NASDAQ imbalances will be out, so let's go have a quick look at that. Absolutely nothing on here. There's GameStop. It has a neutral there, so I don't even know what that means. So we've had ends there before. Normally that means it's like it's paired off, and I don't know if that means it's going to halt or something there off the open or what, but right now GameStop looks pretty calm down to me. It's not doing too much, so we'll find out about that end. We've covered it before, what it means. I don't remember, and I thought it matched with like that it was paired off.
Yeah.
But anyways, buys, sells, and ends. No good right there, but we'll see what that means.
It's nice.
It's a nice, but it's not that nice. All right, so Palantir there, another one to the upside. So let's see what's happening now, as I got to give a big shout out to Ramin, who's working solo today and was able to fix our Unity problem. So we'll get that back going so I can hear Brendan and Sharif. So let's go.
Unity.
Yeah, let's go back over to the desk, and I guess we got to find out what Sharif is teaching this midday.
With Obi, right?
It's a special midday.
It is.
Obi is joining.
Yeah, because Adara finally took a vacation. She hasn't been on vacation since she's been here. So Ob gonna fill in today, and he's got a special one for you guys. We're obviously talking about the memes, Brendo, and these short squeeze names. So if you're into that kind of thing, hang out with me and Obi on how to trade.
Yeah, 12 o'clock obviously going to be very, very important today, guys.
Yeah, a little bit at 12 o'clock. All eyes on GameStop. Just quickly before we get to that at the open, because that's where I'm going to be. If it halts, it halts. We'll try to make a play there. 72,000 in play. Bit of a dip off that on Bitcoin. Just wanted to mention that is a possibility if we get upside on Bitcoin that you could have a monster move, and then Coinbase could be like a double top break at 264 in that event. So it's the only thing in crypto I'm looking at. On the off chance somehow it tanks into $240. Yesterday's low on coin looks pretty solid, so it's 928. You know, at the open, the last couple of times I've said that I would look for a halt trade. All right, if I haven't got the dip now, I don't want it at 928. I've said a couple times that the stock might halt right away at the open. It did the other day to the downside when I was looking for an up halt to take. In this case, if it does halt up, I'm looking for a breakout halt trade on GameStop to the upside. If it's a halt down, different story. This is going to be probably the biggest volume day that GameStop has seen in forever. I can't remember, like, whatever. Just pick date.
Well, yeah, it's
pick date back to 2020, and then it's one of those days. So you're going to have a wild volume day here. My plan of action is only to look for either support at the 32 or 35, a halt to the upside. If it halts down, I'm trying to punch short on AMC if it's at all reasonable in that particular moment. If we do get Nvidia at big resistance, you know, like the quarters or something like that, we'll play it. And I'm going to be on the offer in front of Apple in that 96.5. Apple making a fresh top on the daily. I'm not sure it's going to happen before the event.
All right, let's go. It's only now 30 seconds to go, and I don't know who's going to ring the bell. Maybe Brendan's going to ring the bell, or maybe Sharif's going to ring the bell. Because we only have 30 seconds to go right now as Sharif gets ready to go. So
Out of
that'll
the
be
blocks.
nice. And here we go. So, hey, buckle up, man. I mean, we already know that we're already in GME. Remember, if we take that 36, that we don't want to be any part of this, could happen immediately off the open. Here we go with only 20 seconds left. GameStop starting to go. Now it's through $38, or just touched it. $37.90 with GME. There it is, breaking through. There we go. Let's go. I won't hit it because we'll cancel that. But there goes GameStop to the moon, hopefully, through 38. 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's go. We are now open, but that does not mean that that anything on the NYSE is open yet. This could trigger, you could get stopped out here off the open. Let's wait for GameStop to open before putting our stop order in right now. So I don't know if it's open yet, but we're just gonna get our stop order in and get ready to go. As GameStop still waiting for that big end print to show us the way here today. GameStop dancing around. There we go. Did we get it? I think we might have just opened there. I don't know. We got some kind of a bump.
It looks
right there through 38, through 37.
It's open. It's open.
It's open now. Okay, so we'll put in our stop order and get going. So there we go. 37.50, 37.80 GameStop. There we go. Yeah, we definitely saw some end print. So here we go. We are now long $1.50, $1.60. Here it goes through $40. Let's see what we have next here for GameStop. We are already long in the pre-market, but this could easily dump back in. So maybe we'll take a little bit of a profit here. We've looked at 40 before. We just touched 39.50 as a high, 39.30, sorry, as a high there for GameStop. That might have been it, man. That was a little bit of like sort of euphoria right there off the open. It does touch its pre-market levels, and then we'll head back now into the downside. So there's GameStop. Yeah, as you can tell, it's going to be wild. We've already moved up and down there a little bit.
That was insane. I had just put a 40 break, getting it ready and locked and loaded to go, and you're right back at 39. No halt yet, obviously at the open. You know, sometimes when you anticipate something, it doesn't happen. We'll keep it. It's going into a down halt potentially now.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get something
fill.
out.
Oh, no
God. Oh, no,
way.
no,
Nope,
no.
didn't halt. So like a fake halt. Oh, that was a good one. Psych, fake halt. I just got in and out of it. I told you to get in and out of AMC.
I wound up getting
That was a fake
overfilled.
halt situation there to the downside. So now all of a sudden it's headed back up. I punched in and out of AMC. If it's
Let's
going
see
to
what
fake
happens.
halt at a bottom and then take out the top, then I'm going to take the top break.
Yeah, you have to at
That's
this point.
39. Yeah, I'm just going to make it a 39.50 break or 40.
I guess it's just going to break 40 here. All right, so here we go, man. That was a fake break there. So we got in and then out of that stop there and overfilled on that. But now we're back into the long. Now it's going to halt up. So let's see now what happens here for a possible halting
Come on,
up.
man.
We're already long.
the
We would
fill.
love to get more
me the
here. I don't think
fill.
we're going to either. Is it going to fake the other way here, and then we're really going to get rinsed? Right now, we did not get any fills. We have the fill long at 39. Let's just see what winds up happening here for GameStop. It's too bad because we did have the 36s there, got out on the halt, and then back up. So we like that fake halt. So let's see if the bulls can ride now with GameStop, and we're long at 39. So there it is. GameStop upside halt, fake downside halt, real upside halt right now. Tapping 39.61, but that's where it halted. So let's go back over now to some stocks. All right, so what's going on with Apple? 195, a nice move up to 196. Those were some key levels. Neil mentioned 196, but at the same time, it's tough. Market not doing too much as we just look at GameStop as we said we would. Too bad that we took ourselves out there, but we're back in 195 and change there for Apple.
That was insane.
Let's check out Palantir.
NVIDIA bounced off that low.
Okay, yeah, same as Palantir, bounced off 23. NVIDIA bounced, okay? So let's just check out on AMD once. So basically, we didn't miss anything from what I can see. I mean, a couple ups and downs, but AMD is still in the pocket if you like that trade. But yeah, I'm just going to be sitting here waiting for GameStop. TAP is still the same thing. I don't know if the TAP is working, to be honest.
On New York stocks, the TAP hasn't really told us anything, theoretical auction price, so we'll see what happens when it opens. I'm anticipating it's going to fly to the upside. There won't be a 40 break to be had, in my opinion. I think if it opens higher, it's going to open above 40, might look for a long above it, back into the halt level is the only way to get in. I was all over the bid. I put 3 orders in there, didn't get any of them. Nvidia did bounce off the low, so 1185 held. You know, if you didn't pay attention to GameStop, that 1185 gave you a dip buy on Nvidia, but it resisted this 1200 level, so it's still in play for this 1200 to be a significant level. GameStop's halt will be 5 minutes. I can't see a reason why it wouldn't be. So you've got at least until 37. So 3 minutes to go on that. DOCU sign. I said if it got to SSR, I would look for a bounce play. It is almost. It's getting close. It's down 9%. I think it might have ticked it. I feel like it did tick. I'll double check exactly. I'm pretty sure it might have actually ticked SSR and bouncing off 49.10. I should actually be in this long if I'm taking the SSR bounce already.
Right, yeah, exactly. All right, so watch out for that
Opportunity cost,
SSR.
man.
Yeah, let's watch out for that SR bounce right there. Opportunity cost maybe of Tesla. We talked about 179 coming through there. We like the long down here at 173s, but it stopped at 175, and now you're ripping to the high side here on Tesla. A pull back into the 50 period would be great if we could get something like that. But for right now, that 50 period's down at 177.50. So we could put a bid down there at 177.60 or so, see if that wants to come in hot. But for right now, Tesla is starting to get going through the upside. A possible break of 180 is in the cards. I mean, this break of 179 is right here, right now. The thing is like, look at the market. Are we even looking at the same market here? I mean, it's doing nothing. And Tesla is really starting to ramp up to the upside right now. Wow, breaking through 179 now. I mean, we nailed the long, but we don't have the price. So there goes Nvidia, or sorry, there goes Tesla. Apple, again, nice move to 196. Maybe a fade back in here for Apple as they're up on the day against a negative market. There we go. We're now into halt state on our system for
Okay, so it's gonna
GameStop.
open soon.
Yeah, no problem, I mean. And then 39.75 right now, the tap. So that's a nothing burger. So hopefully that'll start going a little bit more upside there on GME. Looking at what we're seeing on here, there it is right here. So we'll sort it by time so we can get it right at the top so we can see. There's GME right here. So a buy imbalance of 300,000 for this opening print. So let's see where it goes. GME about to open soon.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's where I'm going to be looking. I did make that play off 49.10. I did go SSR and DocuSign. We're in and out of it, but I want my focus to be on the reopen of GameStop, having missed out on that halt to the upside. All you can do in that situation is get on the bid as fast as you can and hope to get along because you can't punch the offer. Right, it couldn't go any higher than 39.61 in that moment. The other thing that could come into play is 1,200 on Nvidia. We're at 96 now on Nvidia. Here, only because I'm not getting away from this level 2. You're at 9,600. You could have a 1,200 break. I'd be interested in taking it, but I'm one thing at a time. I don't want any part of being in a position in Nvidia at the same moment that I'm trying to play off of the halt in GameStop. It opens at 40. The halt price is 39.61, so I know I'm going to have a stop underneath 39.5. I'm going to be looking for the long as it opens over 40.
Yeah, so right now it's tapping 40, so it looks like it will hit 40 bucks. We're going to be $1 in the money on it. Too bad, because we should be $4 in the money, but we did get faked out by that halt and we got stopped. So there it is. It's 41. It's 41.50. Now we're really cruising. Let's go. It's a cash register for right now on GME as it's breaking through 41. Here it goes. 41.30s. Let's see how high we can fly here with GME. We are long at $39 right now. So, I mean, is 46 good enough for us? I think so. So here comes a big win for us now on GameStop. But hey, it's not a win until you cash out. So let's just put an offer somewhere near the upside and see if we can get that. Here it goes. Looks like it wants to break through 41, 42 maybe, right there with some decent size on GameStop. So here we go again. We're holding, man, and we're long on GME, as you guys can see. So a big $3 winner plus right now on GameStop. The fun is just starting, baby. It's a nice one. It's GME.
Let's go. It is what it is. Like, you guys got to take the trade. You got to be in early. You got to have a plan, whatever it happens to be. We're trying to take out 43 at this moment. If it goes into another halt, the plan is to hold through and just sort of see what happens because anything is possible. If you're in the money at 12 o'clock, I think you just want to be in it, ideally. So there's the 43. We're done scalping it. You know, great. I'm glad you got in that one early. I promise you. Did you get the actual? I know you got the break back in, but it wasn't the halt.
No,
Okay.
I punched in earlier than that. I was trying to get better prices. It just ripped.
Because I think I actually know the error I made. I was on the wrong
44.
gateway. 44 just went. I'm looking for an up halt. The only thing that stands in the way would be 48 to 50. 40. It's going to another upward halt here. Do I want to add to this? Let's see if I can get it.
I'm going to try.
I'm going to try.
it. I don't know if adding to this is going to be the right decision.
No fill, no fill, no fill, no fill.
We got to fill.
You got a film?
There, yeah, bidding NYSE gateway.
Yeah, see, you know what? I'm using Edge A, Boss X,
Yeah, I used
BYX.
I only used that one because I didn't want to get the overfill there, but we'll add to this position. This could be the disaster that we're waiting for. Adding to this position, I mean, we just moved up on GameStop hugely. Like we just.
Somebody missed the print.
You're right over there, Brankos. That's good. We like all that. We like all that. All right, so there it is. Nice longs, and we just add to it. Hey, you know what we're trying to do? We're trying to ride. So right there, that's exactly what we're doing with GameStop. I mean, that's why everyone's here, to see if we can make some money with you, with us on GameStop. So here it goes. And again, it's just about being real with what you're trading, and nothing else other than that. It's like I said, I'm not even looking at AMC today because of what GameStop is doing. And that fake halt really messed with it because we should have been longer through all of this, like better prices and more shares, to be honest with you. But anyways, it doesn't mean that this is going to work. My average price now is 41. Let's see what winds up happening. We were long down here at 38s or 39s, added to it here at $44. So yeah, now we're basically all locked and loaded here to see if we can get a higher bid now on, and thank you so much for that, Mohammed, there. You rock, we all rock. Yeah, well, we could all not rock very soon on this play, but I'm pretty comfortable with it, man. I mean, we're $3 in the money now. Good trade so far here on GME to start the day.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about it. At the end of the day, there were some missed opportunities if you're looking at other things, but you can't complain. If this thing gets to $50, everyone's going to be happy. Apple did do a pop and drop for everyone that's paying attention to that. We still got a couple of minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel my offer. I was looking at short pops on Apple today going into the event, just feeling like you're not going to make a fresh high. So, you know, like that 95 looks like it should have been a thing there. If it comes back up, maybe we can fade it. The NASDAQ is certainly going to the downside here after making another press off of 1900. So we bounced off 1900 and then right back into the downside. AMC is going into a halt as well.
Which
so they're
way?
both upward. No, upward halt.
No, down, isn't it? Isn't AMC going down?
Upward halt.
Oh, upward halt. Okay.
So into an up halt on AMC. It's actually going right now. Let's see if there's something else that might be not halting. That's not moving. Novavax on the off chance, or Faraday Future. Novavax isn't moving. FFIE is starting to go. So FFIE is trying to break out these tops as well. You're just kind of scanning through what could be going on sympathy and what could make a breakout. 75 looks like a big one for FFIE. If these continue to ramp upside, I think Faraday at 75 looks pretty good. But until we open up in GameStop, I don't want to make that call. We got 2 or 3 minutes for GameStop. Oh no, Nvidia, right back at that low.
Yeah, I mean, meanwhile, I think this is what's happening, right? Meanwhile, the stock market continues to go on. There we go. We go into the halt state now with GME. So we are going to be at just a couple minutes now. Before I go to Brendan, let me just get exactly at 9:39:12. So 9:44:12, we should get an open, so about a minute and a half. What's up, Brendo?
Another one moving here, guys. It's interesting to see the rotation when GME halts, the volume switches over. Here's GERN, 27, almost 30% there at $5. This one actually had positive news this morning on a blood disorder drug, but there's 9 or 10% of the float short here as well.
Jern.
Oh man, I yearn
make it
for that
Jern
Jern right there. So okay.
What's up, Jern?
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Jern? Okay, so right here, GME, let's wait, baby. I'm not even sticking up. What the hell's that? I haven't even looked at that thing yet. Apple right here. I mean, we're looking at it. I'm just not ready to do anything yet because we have a decent position in GME, so we're pretty happy with that for right now. You just talked about FFIE. That's starting to move around here. Some of these shorter float names. Look at some of these other names. No one's even looking at them. Look, Palantir can't even move. Nvidia today right now.
GameStop, just so you know,
same type of
GameStop
thing.
is probably going to be huge. It's currently 700,000 buy imbalance. Yesterday, when it was downside halt and it was going to open down,
AMC?
it was 100,000 sell and it opened down.
But that
So
could just get
100,000
paired off.
I know,
though.
well, yeah, but still, I mean, it's
No,
indicating,
I'm
indicating an up
hey.
open. I'm thinking it's going to open to the up.
I am
Just based
down
on that
for
alone.
that.
AMC, it's all over the place because the stupid ZVZZTs there, which is a test stock. 150,000, but they're both buy
Here you go,
side
10 seconds.
currently. So this is going to open up anything. I'm anticipating it's going to open higher. I think 50 is that big level. The only level of concern in terms of resistance would have been that 50. So it opens at $45. There you go. Monster open. Will it hold on is the question.
That's the problem. Will it hold on? I mean, now it might halt the other way. Nice move to the upside there on that big print. Let's see if we can get something in and around 46 and change right now. We're offering, there it is. Let's go. We take a little bit out, man. You gotta slap that hot dog cannon sometimes. Almost got caught saying something else there. Nice move to the upside right here. Here it is. Now we're in a $5 winner right now. What's up, Brendo? There he is. The GOAT is in the building. There it goes. Let's go 47, 48, 50. Let's go. Let's get higher and higher and higher. It is $4. We already took a piece out right there. Can we get higher than this? I do not know. Do you? Let's see what happens. Here it goes, 47. Hey, it's GameStop. We only wrote down 36, which happens to be the low of the day. Good job, Brankles. Here we go. It's 48. Let's get going, man. Neil, this is a party. We knew this was going to happen. It's GameStop, and oh boy, it's happening all over again right now. GameStop.
It's roaring, but it's about to hit. The 45 is about to hit on the bid. It's 200,000 shares.
Down halt.
I just got out. Going into a down halt it is. Gimme BB. Unfortunately, you've been. Oh.
Nope.
Fake halt. Fake
in
halt.
your face.
Last fake halt actually drove it to the upside. Now it's going into a down halt. Oh, this is crazy. If it goes into a down halt. Nope.
In your face again.
Nope.
I keep getting out anyway, so I still have a little piece here right now. We'll take it if it halts upside. We just got out a little bit there on those downside halts. Let's wait to see what does wind up happening now. We could just take off right from this level one more time. So there it goes, one more time back to the upside here. Let's see what happens. We'll start playing some of this long here on those downside fake halts. We're back in it. We just took our profits, man. Our long was $41. Getting out at 46, then having to resist that halt. I mean, no thank you. It looks like we may have a bidder now at 44.55 trying to hold that. There, that goes through as well. It looks like this wants to think about halting.
It's trying to halt downside
where it's
multiple
trying to
times.
find the level.
It's trying to find a level where there isn't an equilibrium to halt to the downside. Right now, 44.03. It was 30s before. It was 40s. It just keeps ticking down. I got out on the 45 break when I saw that monster bid getting taken out. I just kind of punched out.
Yeah, I got out too.
If it goes into a down halt.
I don't want the down halt.
Wait a minute. Why can't I? There we go.
I am not trying to go short.
I'm not shorting that. I told you what I'm shorting BlackBerry. I'm not shorting GameStop.
All right, we just basically played that sort of like a fiddle there, to be honest with you. We were able to get in, out. We got out at 46.25 there. We got out a bunch at that halt, and now we're out of it, so we are not in this on this last halt. I did not want it halted down. AMC just opened up again. This could be the halt downside now on AMC. Unfortunately, I do not have pay for shorts, but I do like this one into a short. Yeah, you need to pay for this. So I would be short AMC right now. I'm going to go buy some shares.
But it's not, did it open? Shoot, I went over to BlackBerry. It's open. Oh, yeah, you can.
It was an easiest short of all time, and I didn't even have them. Oh, man,
590. I was on a different level too. So AMC, give it to $5.92. We'll look at that tap in a quick little second there, and if we can pick this up. I want to get something in the 70s, or low 60s, 70s if we can get it. We'll give you that tap in a quick second because it actually told you what you wanted to. Not the tap. Excuse me. Not the tap. I'm talking about the actual imbalance. So when you look at these, you can sort by time. If you're at real trading, you can sort this by time, and then you can look at what it's indicating. I just care about the direction. The size might not matter. 100,000 shares sell currently. But remember, when it opened upside with that huge gap, it was 700,000 to buy, and we opened up 10%. So this is only 100,000 to sell. That's actually not that big, given the volume that's going through. So I don't know how much. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to get out of AMC. 700,000 buy goes up 10%. Only 100,000 sell. I'll stick with BlackBerry. This literally has not lost once. It's 3 for 3. GameStop down halt, punch short BlackBerry. I don't think there's as much opportunity because last time it had gone like 10, 15 cents up, so you could get 10, 15 cents down. In this case, it's gone 8 cents up, so I'm expecting it to get 8 cents down, and that's about it. But AMC not as convinced after I looked at that only 100,000 sell imbalance.
Yeah, I'm not super convinced about too much right now. I mean, we have wholesale inventories coming out at 10 o'clock. Apple's not doing, I mean, I'm just looking around here. Here's AMC. I did pay for shorts, just a couple thousand shares. Let's see what winds up happening on AMC. I'm not in it. I do like that thought. It's done 45 million shares right there. We'll wait for GameStop to open up. What's up, Brendan?
Not surprising, but just to confirm, guys, not seeing anything on this one. CBNA just taking out day highs here, trying to test 110 on a huge volume spike.
Of course, I mean, Carvana. I'm scanning through other Halt names, and Carvana never even came to mind.
No, well, of course.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you can make a list. Sometimes having a watch list is helpful for that. If anything, like Carvana's been different. I don't want to put it in the same category because it's been trading a lot more normally, for lack of a better term. I'm not even sure if that's the right thing to say, but it trades like a normal stock now a lot of times. So I don't know if I want to lump it in. And if it's going up and everything is going down, I'm probably not going to follow along in that one. By the way, Nvidia still could make a break at this top. There's your 1180 bottom. I'm not going to complain. GameStop's been a good stock today. We'll see what happens with BlackBerry. It's in the money like 1 cent. But if it goes 5 to 10, that's basically the entire move. But you could still see a breakout through the high on Nvidia. A 1200 break would be pretty spectacular with the futures trying to get back into the upside. I just saw that GameStop is going 1 minute away on GME. And it's the GME show as far as I'm concerned. So if this can open, hold the original halt, which is down at 39.61. So if it opens down and holds this level, I think that's a nice little energy for a long, but it has to do that. Or just flat out open higher and hold 44 would be fantastic. But it looks like it's going to open lower, at least based on that imbalance data.
I mean, meanwhile, right here, let's sound the alarm right now. We're almost $1 in the money on Tesla. I mean, we buy that dip right there. We say, like, stick with what you're doing and who you are. There's this Tesla trade, 177 all the way back to 179. Let's see if we can get that going now to the upside and see if we could just slowly and quietly, don't tell everybody I'm here. 179 coming through, hopefully, for Tesla. We'll be quiet about it and take 80 cents right now on Tesla as we wait for the one and the only GameStop to come through again. Last price there, $43.80 on GME. Let's give it a shot and see where we go on this one now. Come on, Tesla. There's Tesla. It is a dollar club right there. So, yeah, man, we'll be up on GameStop and we'll be up on Tesla so far. We want to get more there long on TSLA. But of course, GameStop, as Neil mentioned, we are waiting for that to open. And when it does, we will see the fire, hopefully, in this name. 43.83, no difference of a tap yet, as there it is. 40, nice upside move. 44.40. Now we're starting to go upside there on GME. Nice pull. We'll see if it halts up. That might be the next play, halt up. You see when it halts down there, it actually makes that move up. And now it looks like it can't go back higher. So there is a big seller here. Someone is selling a lot of these shares. It looks like
big seller chasing it.
This will halt down, it looks like.
Yeah, if it gets to, it opened at 44, so it could actually get to 40 and then in theory bounce off a potential halt at the 40 level. I suppose that's what I will look for. Oh, it's going into a down halt right now at 42.5?
Wow, we are just
okay. So it just resisted a 42.5 down halt and continuing. Now it's continuing to go down.
Yes, sir.
So now down at 42 even is continuing to go. Are you short this name?
No, we're short AMC right now, baby. We just paid for these shorts and we are banking on them right now. Let's go a little bit back and forth here with AMC. We're only short at 68, but I told you we paid for a couple thousand shares. So let's see what winds up happening. I mean, obviously we wanted to go a little bit lower than where we are right now. It is AMC, and it's trying to dance around. GameStop is not halted, of course, at 41 in change. So we'll wait to see what happens here with GME as we'll hold on to AMC right now. There's GameStop. Oh, thought it was going to halt there. Wow, huge move to the downside right now for that as AMC's still holding. AMC has the juice now, actually.
AMC, that's weird because that was a 10% almost move to the downside. It did bounce off that 40. 39.60 was the down halt level. I think that's what it has to hold. Look, I'm in, like BlackBerry's just sort of gliding down with this move. So I'm on the bids trying to take it out every single level. Oh, no break on. Wow, Nvidia went within $1.50 of breaking 1,200. Let me cancel that order. It's like $10 away now. But you're still looking for this 40 bounce potentially. I never want to be sitting on the bid as it comes down. I want it to test the level, maybe even stop everybody out or fake halt, and then look for an upside play. And as I said, like, you get into this, I'm just going to let this fall into the low of the day. And if it bounces off the low, I'm expecting that support should come into play, especially if GameStop catches any kind of a bid here. Apple doing absolutely nothing. The story is, can GameStop even halt to the downside at this point? I feel like it should have halted a couple of times, and it keeps on resisting it. If it can do it at the 40 level, I think it's got some juice here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still waiting for lower on AMC because of that same reason. I don't really necessarily believe
42
why this
break.
is holding out right now. There goes
40
GameStop,
broke.
40, so 40 downside right now. We could get a move in AMC. We should be short GameStop, but we went over there and just hit AMC. And AMC again stops at like 58. All right, I'm gonna put some more bids down there. GameStop just resisted that halt again down there at 38.50 or so. But here it comes back in there. It goes, looks like it's gonna halt now. To the downside, 37.50. Nope. All right, so they just keep on buying it. So again, it will resist halts if they take this level out. So it's just, it can't go down anymore. That's what it's telling you. So it has to sort of basically have lack of buyers here for seconds and then will halt on the name. So it looks like right now it is gonna halt. There's not enough people willing to buy this through 39.57. So this is not necessarily a plane crash coming through, but it is a move down on GameStop right there. We are completely flat on that one. And right now ringing Reggie's on AMC as we're bidding 53s. Let's see how low we can go on this one. Right now, there's the fill at 53. And again, I hate being short and making money. Well, hold on. I hate being short against what I know a lot of you others are long. And it's just, as a day trader, this is the story, and we always say that. So this is a story of another lady or a man named Brady. All right, so 178.50. Hey, look, if you want the long and you are, as my guy beside me said yesterday, a fanboy of Mr. Elon Musk, then you may be long on Tesla as well. And right now, Tesla just touches that 179. Our offer was a little bit too tight to 179 there. It goes to 178.80. So we'll go 3 for 3 today with our ideas. So it's been a pretty good one, to say so, on a Friday, but let's just give it some hope here that maybe we can even get longer on Tesla back down near 177 again. But so far, so good here. We'll see if we can get a little bit better. Yeah, Friday for sure.
The only thing that doesn't make sense to me is the lack of really big drop on AMC into that move. Because of what we saw in GameStop, I'm expecting a heck of a lot more. AMC is trying to break VWAP, and it's not doing it. I'm probably going to jump out of this in the 60s. I'm going to give you that tap in a second when I can get it. But yeah, I mean, BlackBerry's doing exactly what I would want, which is fall when GameStop falls. Oh, NVIDIA's getting close. All right, I said I'd cancel my order on NVIDIA. When it got far away from 1200, we are right back to that 1200 level. So we're back into play on NVIDIA. GameStop will open up soon, but the NVIDIA could break as well. So you got to keep your eyeballs on this. I'm getting out after that 65 on AMC. To me, like, falling down is not falling enough. Like, you just went down 20% on GameStop, and AMC went from like 85 to 50s, and it's right back up. That's not making any sense to me. If it doesn't make sense, then I don't need to be in the trade. Oh, NVIDIA, give me a break. We just went up to 98 again and turned around. I don't want to short it at that level. But apparently, when you sit there and stare for a break at 1200, like just like 2 days ago, you miss out on the long, or the short. You sit there waiting for the break of 1200, you're just going to miss out on the short off that level. That's what happened for an hour and a half on Wednesday, or was it Tuesday? Wednesday, I think it was. But we'll just have to wait for it. You're getting a flat tap on GameStop. It's indicating a very, very small sell, so even smaller than last time, only 28,000 shares. So certainly, that's less interest than the last down halts. Could be indicative of a turn, but I'm going to wait for it to bounce off a level. It didn't show any pep bouncing off of this halt price at 61. It ended up halting down through it, so we'll have to wait down for 35. That's what's next.
All right. Yeah, so GameStop's going to open back up. This AMC, we already have our stop through 75. So if that happens, then that happens. You know, we will get stopped out on AMC. I'm almost thinking about putting that a little bit higher on that level because I'm a little nervous. So we'll start getting some more out here, 64s. I am bidding some 63s, so there it is. And then if it wants to fall lower, we are bidding 51s. So now we're okay. I just want to make sure that we're able to be profitable on the name, right? So taking 5 or 6 cents on AMC, although I know it's not a huge winner. I mean, I wish it had become one way or the other, but right now it's kind of just dancing here, waiting. for GameStop to open, which is now in halt state, going to open up immediately. I think that means 30 seconds once it gets all cleaned up like that. Our tap is not changing, so right now it's still showing 39.57. Generally, we can show you a little bit of a different one, but it's right there. It's small, and you already showed that, so 11,000, 12,000, about 150,000 of interest there on open. So maybe we are losing some of the luster here as it approaches 10 o'clock. We do have a number in less than a minute, so we can go over to Brendo, or we will for that, I'm assuming. But so far, a pretty good day over here, man. I mean, we'll go 3 for 3. GameStop and AMC are the two biggest ones, and then Tesla's just chilling out right now as it's trying to come back in. We should have had a little bit more aggressive, took the dollar when it was there. So let's wait to see what happens with Tesla as it's falling back in, number time in 30 seconds.
Oh, FFIE did make that break. You know my attention was elsewhere in that moment, but let's get to Breno and the number. No? Yes.
All right, about 15 seconds to go here. Yeah, we're going to get April wholesale inventories for the U.S. expected to be 0.2% to the upside, the prior negative 0.4 to the downside. Real quick, if anyone missed it, 272,000 on that May non-farm payrolls print. So there it is, 0.1% versus a 0.2% print there for that. Wholesale inventories number, yeah, well known about GME this morning, 2.7, 2.8 there for AMC. There are, guys, worth noting, a few of these penny stocks starting to poke up and pop up on some of the volume scanners right now. This one specifically, TPHS on the NYSE ARC exchange, 154%, around that 30-cent mark right now.
GameStop is flying around, so we actually got stopped out on our last piece there of AMC, but GME is flying right now. It just went 42, 37, 38s to 42s. Should have been a halt there as well, but it did not, so that's good to go. I mean, I guess we would have wanted a halt up, I guess. I played back into this. It's still trying to go, so that's the other thing here. Let's forget about AMC. Let's just watch GME right now. I mean, I still like a break long. It's just at what price? I mean, we're moving. We've already seen so many prices here today. That's, you know, for me, that's the thing. It's just, you got to make sure that you see the right prices, right? Because, like, who knows where these halts are going to come into play or not anymore. I mean, we've been playing the halt bands. Halt bands have been good trades so far. So, I mean, something to look at for sure.
Yeah, right back down.
Yeah, right back. Okay.
I try to break, just very quickly, I try to break of this local, it's hard to see, but I try to break of the local high there. It was actually under 41. It was like 40.80s, but it immediately, like, flushed through 40s. We jump in, jump out. Obviously I'm holding BlackBerry, which is continuing to work. Okay, nothing's happening over there on Nvidia. Just keep looking up at it. I think maybe you gotta wait for the 35. It looks like it's just a short at this point. You know, it's entirely too weak. So if it gets down to 35, maybe we look for a bounce there. It needs to break something out or show a good bounce. Otherwise, you could just be waiting. Maybe everyone's waiting around for 12 o'clock and you don't want to get too off guard there. It should be SSR. I mean, it's open.
Oh, wow, here we go.
Down over 10%. So it's going into a down halt now. I'm going to cancel one of my bids.
And I can't even, like, AMC won't even go down. AMC
That's what doesn't make
really
any sense
strong,
to me. Oh,
man.
by the way, FFIE.
I mean, we're banking on AMC.
FFIE, that break, it's actually holding the break. This is not even falling when GameStop goes to the downside. So I'm not considering this a sympathy play anymore. I'm going to go with just play this as its own trend for now on Faraday Future. So maybe a bounce into VWAP or something like that, as GameStop keeps resisting halts to the downside, but it is still a lot of pressure on GameStop. Tons.
Resisting your halts. Yeah, I mean, okay, so a lot of pressure on GameStop. It is now halted. 37.70 downside move halt. Again, we knew it was going to be a halt fest there today, and we're just short again. I mean, we're actually going to wind up making just as much money on the AMC short as we did on the GameStop long, so we like that one for sure. So we'll take that sort of back and forth there. One short, one long. We hit the GameStop longs early. You guys saw that. We were able to take these bids. So we did get out on that fake halt right there. So we gave this money back, which was basically flat to a small loss, then bought, then bought, then bought, then bought. So huge moves upside there, out for GameStop. Let's just see where it goes now, 37.72. Tesla's still dancing. Let's go look at something else. All right, so the other trade idea that we had was Apple buying dips, but again, we missed that dip right there. Other than that, right now, I think the market is sleepy time. I mean, that number that came out today, we were all like, yay, it's jobs report Friday and this and that. Really? I mean, the market is like, nah, that didn't even come out, but it did, and it was greater than expected, hotter number, and this is what happened. And then, like I said, it seemed like we really absorbed all of that on that downside, so we don't have too much to worry about. I had mentioned Robinhood, and actually, thanks for pointing that out in the chat. Geez, what? No, that's
Not a typo.
that's pretty much highway robbery right there.
Not a typo.
We should have had that. I mean, you want to guess what level we wrote down for Robinhood today? Anybody? How about this? 2250 is on the sticky note, but of course, like I said, look at this shiny thing over here, and we stop looking at it. The low of the day for GameStop, right there, 2250, or sorry, for Robinhood. We like that level. We wrote that down here. Came back in on the jobs number, hung around, could have had it. We didn't even. I don't even remember talking about this there, but there's the nice move up. You had to have it right off the open, so there's no way. I just wasn't looking at it, but good call there on Robinhood. And we wrote down Palantir for dip buys into 23, and I guess that did come through again. And this one I can't claim ignorance on because we've been looking at Palantir, just not quite at those levels. AMC yet to halt, or did it halt at once? It did.
It halted one time on AMC.
Yeah.
We were multiple times on GameStop. So there was a bounce off VWAP in Faraday. So there's VWAP, higher lows, all that good stuff. It just bounced off 71. There's a 68 bounce. There's a 69 bounce. Didn't want to bounce off 70. It bounced off 71. I'm going to scalp it to the high, hold some for the break. Carvana, which doesn't care. Carvana doesn't care about you and your feelings.
No, it does. It does. Carvana does.
Oh, apparently it does. 1 million in volume, but it just did this little bit of a pullback. It's failed $110 like 3 or 4 times here. Oh, sorry, rejected 110. A fail would be if it actually flushed. It's not flushing, and nothing like that is happening on Carvana, but it's holding a nice consolidation. I wonder if on sympathy, maybe it's just consolidating, waiting for an up move, and then all of a sudden, if these other names start to go up, you'll see Carvana break out that top. Nvidia's still nothing burger, 1200. Meanwhile, remember when we say Nvidia's weak, what's going on with AMD? Here we go again. AMD up 1.5%, breaking out the highs. Nvidia can't break 1200. So we are at yesterday's top in a matter of seconds here in AMD. Of course, GameStop's going to open up in 1 minute as this is about to take the top. I still have my order on Nvidia, but at some point, I might just give up the ghost on Nvidia making this break and realize that AMD is stronger. Until then, just in Faraday, and GameStop's going to open in less than a minute.
Yeah, we're still bidding a little lower on AMC, but we are going to be watching GameStop right here as well. So there we go. So we are on it right now, and if and when it opens up, we will bring it to you. Not if, when it opens up, we will bring it to you. 37.72. It looks like we're about to get open in just a little bit time. What time did it exactly halt here? So I can give that to you. 02:36. Oh, we still got a little bit of time here. As it's right now 06:45. So it's coming up right now about a minute, 45 seconds or so to go on that one, just so everyone's, not that it matters, you guys do what you want, but I just took out some more there of our AMC trade back down at 52s or 53s right now as we hit 52s. So we are short now at 68. I mean, again, like 17 cents on AMC might not seem that much, but it's not bad. If we can get a downside push in GME, which whatever, then we'll watch out for this to flush. We only have now a third left of our shorts. We've been shorting back and forth. We did get stopped out on that one GameStop open and right back in. So so far a very profitable day there. Here comes GameStop. In 8 seconds, GameStop will open up and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the FOMO was real on Rivian. Rivian bounced pretty much exactly off that 1150 level. We'll get to that in a second. But look, it's going to be GameStop opening back up. It's opening already pressing the bid. Like, it's relentless at this point. Like, there are size bids that are just getting chewed up on every single level. So this bottom is 34, 35 even, or 34 something. So 35 looks like a bounce spot. Or you could just hold the halt level altogether. That would be nice. Maybe we look for, this high here is 41.5. So that would give you a breakout through the top.
I mean, it's fun to watch, but it's kind of still on the same levels. I mean, if you just close your eyes at open.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
NVIDIA's trying to go higher. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to get to. There was that small capper that we talked about, that Vero. This also, in sympathy, I guess, all things halted down at the same time. Like, this went to the bottom. It's almost at $1 now. So when everything came back in, this came back in as well. I usually like those dollar levels a lot. So if it does like a false break of $1 and maybe holds $1, I will get over to that one. FFIE started to come back. In the second GameStop opened up, I'm like, let's take some out in front of 75 on Faraday because the bid looked heavy on GameStop. So we're still holding on to a little bit of that, but ultimately, I think the big story is, can this hold on to 35 on GME?
Yeah, it's going to be coming back in there. I mean, I'm still watching it. I would like to see. I mean, let's think about what we actually want to see here. Sorry, that's AMC. I was just getting out of that. I'm still watching GameStop on the other screen here. I mean, this could have been it, 37. I mean, we just wicked the bottom there to $37. I mean, that could be something there if you're holding the long to say, hey, I'm going to get out if and when we do break through that $47 mark. So I feel like there is something to be said about that if that was something that you're looking for. But here it comes back in right now. So we're still short on AMC, trying to watch out for GameStop coming into that 37 level. So again, this has been the level that's held. It pretty much held even look, we got one move down where it tried to break through 35 and didn't. We got out at 36.30 or whatever that was there on that roughly that same price. See, there's that stop spot again, 37. So it gets right back into that and bounces one more time. So I think 37, 37.50. I mean, if you're really thinking about, hey, where's the line in the sand? If I have a lot of shares, 36.50 maybe, that very bottom of 35. I don't know if we want to see that break, because if it gets to 35, it's probably a downside halt, right? So just be careful with all of that, but here it goes. Looks like 37 might be something here on GameStop.
It might be, and oh, I knew this might happen. Just going to quickly update. I was in one time at the 49 even on DocuSign. Yeah, DocuSign absolutely ramped off that low. It was maybe like 20, 30 cents underneath that SSR, and it just went ramp job to the upside. So there's the breakdown, but we're going to get this 35 print, I think, incoming anytime. We're going to get the low day on GameStop. We should take all of the others to the bottom. Faraday might be bouncing at 70, but we'll track that in a second. If we get 35 bounce, that's the next level we're looking for.
Yeah, there's 37, a nice little move there. I'm going to take another piece out if I can here on AMC. I'm bidding like paid gateways. You could get free ones or dark pools, but forget that. So let's just wait to see now what happens as AMC, good little recovery. There's the one shutdown stop out on the reopen. And then since then, so that's the first halt down. That's sort of what we've been experiencing right now. And we do get that low print, and we are bidding 47s again on this one, as everyone's here to see GameStop. And GameStop right now is at that 36.50 level. That first spot that kind of gave everybody the, you know, yeah, sort of the wiggle out there that happened to the downside. But here we go again. Look, we're really, I hate like kind of celebrating on all this kind of stuff, because I just said, like, I know that there's a lot of traders that potentially are stuck trying to chase this, and
I wish it was going up.
It does suck. I mean, I want it to go up as well. So we're gonna still wait for that. It might be at that spot though. 36 could be a spot.
Yeah, you're kind of hoping so at this point. I mean, it just made that was a big wick bottom. Okay, so somebody just stepped in pretty decently, but every single time, like, where's the follow through? You'll get one big order that just happened right here off of 36.5 that punched it right back through 37, and then the first move is once it gets to 38, someone comes in and dumps it again. Right back into 37.5. Like, I want to see that followed by another round of buying and then breaking out the next top. So this is a 39 break and change on GameStop, it looks like. I'm going to take the shot.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking a shot down here at 37 as well, to be honest with you. That little 36.50 area could be something for sure. So, yeah, let's try it. There we go. We are in it now at 30. I just punched in 37.70 or so. What do we go? We got 74s. So I want to give this down into that 36 area. So let's bid some 37s again to see if that comes in, which it looks like it's going to, and then put our stop down into where it needs to be, man. And if we wind up losing, we wind up losing. I mean, we have the AMC short, which is there for sure. But here we go. We are long now on GameStop, seeing if it wants to hold this level. I mean, ultimately, I think we all try to look for halt levels and stuff like that, but here it comes in, 37 and change. We've been down here before. Let's see where we go. GameStop will average it in. We're long at 37.50.
I mean, meanwhile, Robinhood looks like it has a program buying on the damn thing, on the stock. Like, it's, like, look at this. It's just linear, cool, chilling, no problems here to the upside. I'm going to stick to the breakout trading. You know, I feel like that's going to be the way to go. I'm going to take a shot on a breakout. Unless it's that 35, I'm going to hold out for the break. Nvidia, nothing Nvidia just yet. AMD, I want to make sure we're at least tracking what's going on here. AMD just gave it up underneath VWAP. So logically, In that moment, this is the moment that Nvidia is getting strong again. So Nvidia higher lows into what looks like a flat top break. That's 1198.5. I'm going to take it if it breaks the 1200. I almost said 12,000. The $1,200 level. So I've been waiting for this for a while. You can see I've had the order in for like 15 minutes, and I canceled it a couple times. Really, I've had this order to go break long for pretty much the entire open on Nvidia, and we're just not seeing it. So I'm waiting for a break on GameStop. Holding on to BlackBerry, which will just show you, like the first down halt, like this was it going up, first down halt just punched short, still looking for the low of the day. That's pretty much it. Just need a break on GameStop. Novavax and some of these other ones, look, just trending down to the bottom. This is SSR, it's down 10%. Here is the move. Come on, break.
Go.
Can't break top.
We're long 37.50 on GameStop. We've talked about that. I mean, we could, again, if you want 50 cents, it just basically stopped at 38 flat right there. If you're going to scalp it, you could scalp it. I just realized that, like, in me looking over at GameStop, like Tesla has just stopped every single time at 178.50, and it's just like I'm not even looking over there because we just have kind of a starter position on that trade. But again, missed opportunity here, I feel like, for sure. As we look at Tesla coming back down, we should be short. We should be out of our Tesla trade. All right, GameStop's falling back in again into 37. I mean, there is an opportunity to get more shares here. We're not going to do that. It just did not break. There it comes. It just did not break through that 38 level. So I think that was something to look at.
It's like the market doesn't want to do anything right now because everyone's staring at.
Well, I think the market's.
It's a Friday. Look, it's a Friday.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever.
I think most traders don't care about these, to be honest with you, the ones that will be trading Apple and all that kind of stuff. But you're probably right. Friday, the jobs number came out. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. I'm going to check my phone soon to see what my daughter's up to at her baseball camp. The Blue Jays clinic today. And by the way, today we already have What's for Lunch. Let's do that here as we go. What's for lunch today is, again, hopefully if you've been trading, you've been having a couple of these, some chicken dinner winners, but it's not dinner yet. You don't want to have chicken for breakfast, I don't think, unless you, I mean, I don't know. Not
Why
this.
not?
You could have omelets and stuff like that for sure. All right, but today's What's for Lunch is a good lunch too. Barbecue chicken with rice and stir-fried vegetables. So that's going to be good time around here. Let's not lose our lunch though with GameStop.
I used to have chicken for breakfast in university more than is reasonable.
Yeah, no, chicken's great, man. Healthy protein, have that for sure.
Literally whatever got made the night before. If I barbecued chicken the night before at university,
oh yeah.
I mean, come on, son. Like, I'm not making breakfast. No, it just is what it is.
Thank you.
One quick thing for you here. Rivian, higher lows, it's bouncing off VWAP, or at least attempting to. And I did that thing where I get in on the front end instead of the back end. So it's at VWAP, and I bid VWAP, and I just took the fill instead of letting it bounce first. So if it ends up flushing through 70, I should get out, let it reclaim VWAP, or at least reclaim that trend, and then jump back into it. So again, if it holds VWAP here, great, but usually I want to be getting that fill on the other way. I already have a tight stop, and I don't mind jumping back into a trending trade into the upside. Still, as I said, I've got this order locked for a break here, and if it happens, it happens. I'm starting to run out of faith that anything is going to break to the upside on GME until 12 o'clock. So we'll just have to be patient for it at this point. Lots of other things are happening in the overall market that you can pay attention to. Apple is actually trending up going into the WDC next week. So it's holding VWAP. There's your big break at the open. Dip buy. The market's gliding a little bit higher here. So Apple looking relatively strong. And then this name, which we haven't mentioned all day, Meta, putting in a bit of a double bottom and just went back into green. So everyone's all doom and gloom about that number, but look at the recovery. Look at this. If you're trading only Meta today, which you're probably not, it bounces right off of yesterday's lows twice on this number and now could be taken out the top. That could be spicy. You can get this in front of that 500 level, which got rejected pretty heavily in the afternoon. I see some people talking about Tilray. But
of course they are, yeah. Our short float there.
I don't know that... yeah, the weed names, I'll stay away from those.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at some high short float names here back and forth again. So GameStop still holding 36, but dancing around. We did average into our Tesla, so we're trying to cook up a winner here again, and maybe we can for everybody, or for myself anyways, on Tesla. Again, like the stock down at this level. We'll see if it does work out for us or not. But right now, Tesla, I'm going to take the 50 cents this time if we're able to get it up there at 178. We'll just take out half of it. That's sort of where VWAP is. And so here it goes. Nice move back to the upside. upside for Tesla. We just bought that dip buy down there at 177.30, so giving us an average price now of 45. It's so stupid because we had $1 and change winner, and then I just completely left it alone there, trading AMC, which has been good. AMC's been a good one, man, for sure, as that's been downside. We're actually, I mean, position pending. We'll be up more on AMC. Well, maybe not. We'll wait. But we are up more on AMC right now with this position going against us now on GameStop. Still up on GameStop, but it is falling back into this level again of 36 and change. Very, very dangerous because that stop is going to be 35. So if we get out at 35, we get out at 35. Let's see where it goes from here. But yeah, not a great spot for me as we stay under 37. It's only 10:20. Like
It's
you know,
so early.
yeah. I'm not like even if we wind up losing on this, we'll probably lose $1.50 or so on that 36 break. Or sorry, what break did I put down? 35 breaks, so $2 and change, which obviously is going. Here it comes, which is going to suck. But I still think it's worth the shot. We do have sort of that hedge on AMC, but that's not the point of it. I'm trading GameStop right now because I think there's some support down here. So we just take that long right now, and why not? Let's take it out. Here we go. Let's ring some Reggies there back through. We're long at 36.63. If we could break through 37, we just took a piece out on that upside there. We did chase P&L there for a little bit, to be honest with you. As it did pop up, we were kind of like, oh my God, we're red there, breaking through 36. Then we get that last little relief rally back up to the upside. So I'm not even sure. We just hit offer enter. What price did we get? 37.06. So a good price there on the out for GameStop. We still have shares though, of course. So let's wait to see what happens. Here comes 35. So that looks like that was a good decision to get out because here we go.
Yeah, this is the one. I mean, we talked about this in the pre-market, not really thinking it would come into play after that bounce at 9:30, because you bounced at 9:30 off of 36. I didn't think we'd see it again, but you're trending back into it. I'm back in FFIE. It just had a double bottom at 68, right around VWAP, so I grabbed 69s on the way back up of Faraday. I always want to say future Faraday, but it's Faraday future. So I am in that one. If it breaks 68, I'm just getting out that 68 cents. So it looks like it might be doing that right now. I'm taking more in front of 35 in GameStop. This is that bottom level. Again, it's not meant to be ahead being short BlackBerry. It's just the way it ended up here. Let's go to Adara. It's time for the small cap recap.
Or Brendan, yeah.
Or, sorry, my bad, Brendan. Yeah.
Shout out to Adara, having a nice long weekend. Yeah, let's get you a look at a few little ones moving around here this morning. This one with a appointment with Bloomberg TV today. I saw a few people mentioning it. SNGX, one to watch, not doing a heck of a lot right now. GME, the big one, obviously. AMC to keep in mind, coming up at 12 o'clock with the kitty man taking to the airwaves, allegedly. We'll see. VERO, 102% coming off a headline after the close yesterday. It's been downside for the most part ever since, including a halt of its own on the downside of things for VERO. A ton of volume still on this one. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of these little penny stocks popping up. That was one of them. TPHS. Just taking out the highs here, heavy volume behind this move, TPHS, and then this one as well. Vigil Neurosciences starting to go as well. Not a penny stock, but $4, guys, for VIGL.
Okay, here comes $35 immediately. So thanks, Brendo, for that little update right there. And yeah, there goes 35. So it's going to break through 35. That's my stop. So we will get stopped out. We did try one more time here on GameStop, and then now it looks like I'm throwing in the towel. And then I think the best thing to do would be to wait, because the thing is, if you don't get out at 35, look, the stop's already in. So hopefully I don't have to do anything. This thing just triggers. But at the end of the day, if you don't get out now, look, this could spike right back up. There we go. I got out. We could spike up, and it could be completely disastrous. But I'm going to play these sort of the other way right now, thinking that it's better to get out now, take the L on this name. Obviously, like we had mentioned, we still do have that AMC short, but take the L and then just see what winds up happening now, because it just broke through that last level for us anyways as a day trader. So I mean, if you're still trading options, I mean, $30 is pretty key to come through 32.50.
32 was a big level
yesterday,
but
what are you going to do? But
if it gets there, it's
the market is trying to fall in a little bit too. And then again, now we can finally like it's 10-20. You know the stocks I've traded today, GameStop, Tesla, and AMC. Like that's not normal for me. So we're gonna have to go over and start looking at something else. GameStop was a lot of fun, and it's going to get a heck of a lot more fun too. We'll still hold on to AMC short though. We still have that one. Check back on AMD. So let's just do something that we always do. We didn't write down AMD today, but look what it's been doing, up to 170. I mean, what a great short that would have been. We've talked about 170 on a daily, but that's not here anymore. So yeah, you're down to the 200 period. Not a bad little look there. I still kind of like this Tesla long, which is starting to print out for us a little bit. We did get that little bottom take there at 177, so a nice little move back up to the upside now for Tesla. You know what? Heck yeah. Let's just take this out in the 70s. There it is. All right. Well, there's 50 cents on a triple reload there for Tesla. So yeah, we'll take that one, and we like it a lot. Good little move there for Tesla, coming back upside, and we have it. So good trade. Let's just sit there in it and see what we can get from TSLA. So far, so good there. 50-cent winner, back upside on triple loaded up shares.
Yeah, I think the market's running out of steam, and if that's the case, I'm going to look for anything weak that I can short. But the bounce off VWAP on Rivian, we just took the first out in front of 80. The high of the day sits 1190, so we're going to get some more out at 84. Those are looking okay. I think those are relatively strong. When I say those, Tesla just bounced the upside for Sean, so I mean the EVs, just to clarify.
Yeah.
Apple is also looking trend up. So in terms of looking for weakness, as the market is sort of rolling over is the wrong word, it's cresting, right? So it's cresting at a resistance point. So what I'm looking for is a stock that's following the market, or like a Mag 7 type of name that looks weak. Google's at the lows. That looks weak to me. That's enough. So if there's going to be a short, this is the one to me that's making lower highs. If we can play back into VWAP in here, I'd rather be short this than one of the stocks that is trending into the upside. So I'm going to be ready for VWAP there. GameStop actually bounced and is now back above 35 even. So it's showing some kind of pep in its step. Oh, and AMD is holding 167 on a line right now. That's the other thing. Nothing happening. Nvidia's got, in the last 10 minutes or 20, 30 minutes, an $8 range, which for Nvidia is nothing. AMD pulled all the way back from those highs and is trying to hold 67 very, very tightly there. So it's worth watching. If it doesn't hold on to this, I think you can get the flush we wanted, but I wanted a 171 short on advanced micro devices. Speaking of Nvidia, this is what I mean. Nothing happening. The longer it consolidates, I suppose that still means the 1200 break can be good because it's just sitting here consolidating. That's not bad. It just means it's coiling up, and if it does eventually break, it could be a great one. Just got to wait for it.
Yeah, I kind of wish we had, we went back long into GME, by the way. Breaking through 36, so here we go. Let's see if we can get this. I didn't even realize it happened, actually, and you were talking about GameStop moving around, and I was just going to say we have a 36 break, but that just happened immediately for us. So let's go. Here we go. We got this trade into our blotter right now. We're waiting at 36.89. I don't know why we picked that price, and that might have been a bad price, as I think it went to 70s there and stopped. So boo on that one, but nice move higher there as we'll cash out a little bit on that GameStop move through. We got 36.74s there. We'll wait there again to see if we can get that for an upside surprise off that. There it is. Okay, we get it again.
100 on the bid.
Was there a big bid there? I didn't see.
It was a 40.
Okay, well, we're long now. We're long at 36. So let's halt upside right now if we're lucky enough to get this. I think we should be able to get it, but we'll wait. No, I'm not getting anything now. As I just said to Neil, like what I used last time, it's not filling me now. I'm not getting any fills. I think a lot of people want this long. All right, so we're long. Let's go.
No fills again.
Yeah, so we're long GameStop right here at 36. So, I mean, we take that long, we punched into it, same amount of shares as we had before. We're going to be flat on GameStop after all, but let's wait to see where we go on this one. Meanwhile, guys, we have now multiples. It's Tesla, baby. Nice move to the upside. Hey, look, man, you stick with what you're doing. We are a big cap, support and resistance, catalyst kind of guy right there. So we'll spin that right there for that one. Max, I don't think is here today. I was about to hit the Max Lambo thing right there, but it is a money-making day regardless right now. So there goes Tesla. Huge move there. We got it. We got that bottom. We like it. It's on the sticky note. So, hey, man, we're just staying in our core. core, right? Just like do what we do best, put up numbers, show you guys the trades and talk about them. And there it is right there, $1.25 right there on Tesla. So far today, AMC win, GameStop hopefully win, Tesla win. It's been a good day. It's a Friday, and it's a Fry-yay because it's been yay to the upside right now. Good job there. Let's see what happens with Tesla. Maybe we do break that 179. We're feeling it today again.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling about the futures, though, because Nvidia is about to break down. So I'm about to punch short if we break this low on AMD. Nvidia just got right back into that 1185 zone, and if it takes it out, I think it's going to drag a few things with it. I am on Rivian. I'm not reloading this. It's back into this VWAP. I think if it can't hold it, it could get nasty for a lot of these. Like the trend, that's fine. GameStop's indicating a couple 100,000 open to the upside, and I'm going to treat this exactly like we did on the last up halt that we didn't get. So on the last up halt that I didn't get, I just simply, if it opened higher and bounced off the previous halt, I'm going long on the way back up and then trying to hold into any halt after that. So if it opens higher than 37, the halt price is 36.91. It could be a 38 break, could be 37.5, something in that range. It just has to open, bounce off that 36.90,
there we go.
and then jump into the long
Got you back.
to the upside. Is he back?
Yeah, Sharif's live today, so ID, all that, all figured out. So we got Sharif and Obi ready to go live trading, baby. So, yeah, and on a good day, he picked a good, well, it's not his picking. He would have been live the first day, his
Ideally.
choice. But, all right, so what I'm saying is good day, I think, to be live for sure because you're going to want to put some trades on. And it's tough to trade halted names when you're in a simulated environment, of course. So GameStop and AMC, Beyond Meat, so on and so forth, all dancing today. Let's see where we're going to open up, baby. We are long at 36 into an up halt here for GameStop. It's going to open up in about, actually, a little bit more than 2 minutes. So it's a perfect time to go over to get Brendan at the desk with the crypto recap.
Hey guys, yeah, a bit of a quiet day so far for crypto markets. We did have a move downside, however, coming off the employment number at 8:30 this morning. That's how the overall board is shaping up right now. Nothing significant. I mean, some of the bigger moves of late have been around some of these GME meme coins that have come out. But Bitcoin green on the day right now. Ethereum downside ever so slightly. Everything else back and forth for the most part. Interesting note on Kraken possibly coming to an equity market near you as a company worth $100 million potentially on an IPO for Kraken. There's Bitcoin. Yeah, 8:30 comes out. Huge move down to 70,500. We've retaken 71,000 and change here for Bitcoin, but chopping around within the range, guys, for BTC.
Yeah, so when you said meme coin, I'm like, what I love about our community is we have the best community out there. So everyone educate me on what if they're actual GME meme coins, just let me know. I'm interested in looking at them out of morbid curiosity. But the actual thing here, at least last time I checked, is going to open up in less than 1 minute. 36.91 is the whole price. If you can hold that, I think you got yourself an opportunity for a long. 165,000 to the buy side. So not gigantic. The first halt, it was like 700,000 to buy, and it opened up 10% higher. So I would anticipate it's probably opening higher, but it's not going to open at like $40 or anything like that. The tap is flat. So 36.91 is exactly what it's saying. I still have a stop in BlackBerry. That hasn't even moved, which I guess is a good thing on this bounce. So once we're open, I'm going to look for a hold of the halt band price, which is 36.91. If it bounces off that, I'm punching long the first dollar break. If I don't get that, there's always this break here, $39. That's the other one that it resisted. I had this break before and it didn't work. Now it's back open. Hold it, hold the line, hold the line. It's trying to hold 37 right now. Oh no, don't break the band. Okay, bounce, 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 bounce. Trying to bounce and does not. There it goes. I took the shot. I said if it holds that halt band, it bounced off at once. I punched back long through 37 even with a stop immediately underneath that band. So it's like in, out. If it goes right away and it works. That's what happened over here and it worked essentially right away, but not this time. I guess the bid's just too heavy on GameStop.
Yeah, I opened up there at 37. I mean, we could have got out there. We decided to hold it for that 35. Let's just wait to see. I mean, probably a bad decision, obviously. But we're long right here at 36. So let's just hold out to see what happens. I mean, it does I was thinking we could get a bigger bump there. I went to 37.50. We didn't get out. I mean, we already got some out there at 36.70, 470 cents. So we're kind of like going 1-to-1 now. If it breaks 35, it'll be less than 1-to-1. But I want to hold for more than 1-to-1 on the bid, obviously. So let's wait to see here. As we can go, again, yeah, that's not a good reopen. Would have loved to see that sort of skyrocket there. Just does not come through. We only have a small piece left of our Tesla. I mean, we told you before that we were rating. I mean, that's why this is a purple, because we actually put that out here when we were long before. Then we got averaged in. So that's going to get recoded there for a sell, not a short sell. But nice move back up to 178, 178.50. Let's see what 179. Again, we put that out there, and we just did a little live long and prosper there with Tesla because, again, it was the only, there, what's up, Spock? Right there, we went long and prospered right there on Tesla. So there goes bang,
You gotta
bang,
do it
bang.
when you say it.
Nice to say. I never really watched Star Trek, to be honest with you. I just,
Ooh. No, it's fair.
but
It's one of those
we did
things.
finish
It's not.
Big Bang
It's not
Theory.
for everybody.
Finally, not Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon. Yeah, I didn't mind. I didn't mind the ending. I think it was pretty obvious. You know.
I haven't. I still haven't watched.
Yeah, we watched Young Sheldon with my kids there. They really liked it. Then we started watching Big Bang Theory, but I don't know if they're too into that. So, all right, yeah, GameStop right now is all what's going on right now. We're still, it's our largest P&L name today will be Tesla, but it's really AMC is right behind it. Actually, they're neck and neck. And it's just because we're able to put on some shares here, and it just, we haven't had a huge P&L day today. There isn't much happening.
Look,
I mean,
at the end of the day,
I'm
GameStop.
waiting for setups, right?
I think with GameStop, you almost had to be like all in on that first halt. That's the big miss for me because that's where I wanted the most shares was on the actual up halt, which I didn't get it. The other trades is just different. Like the most shares I was going to want is right here. That's the trade. And then you probably have your entire day on that halt if you get that on the bid. But I didn't get it on the bid, so we missed it. It is what it is. But this market is still falling asleep at the same levels. I mean, I look over at Nvidia. Everyone probably is waiting for like 90 minutes for Roaring Kitty. They were probably piling and just ready to go.
Coming up
There was
already.
a good question in the chat. Someone said in the chat, what app are they using? We're trading on a prop floor. This is real trading. There's floors all across the world. So we trade firm capital and trade on the P-Pro 8 platform here at Real Trading. So when I say I'm using this stop order, that stop order, it's probably different from the platform you're using. We have access to be able to show you, like I can show you what the imbalance looks like on GameStop because that's in our system here at Real Trading, but it is trying to bounce GME one more time here. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see if we can get going one more time here. I'm still going to put an offer up at 39. I mean, maybe we can get a 39.40 or something. It's just crazy. We've missed some of our fills by pennies, even on GameStop today. So that's been wild, just to see how this has been trading. And we're here for it. So yeah, we haven't hit this yet. I don't know. Let's see what winds up happening here. I might just get, I mean, let's just maybe get another piece out of AMC. I mean, we don't have any real business being in it too much anymore as we've sort of made our bed now with AMC. It's been a good trade. So we could just cheer on GME here back upside. That's the idea for me. So let's wait to see if it does come through. That's GameStop, Tesla still doing it. And a brand new position is a money-making position right now for us as Robinhood falls right back in. And looky what we see right here for Robinhood. A nice little dip buy. We're long at 16s, and now it's at 32s. So there it is, man. A money play off of sticky note play number 2 right now. The Tesla long has been my number 1 stock, and here comes Robinhood. We're now 17 pennies in the money off of a VWAP retracement. As we always talk about, those are the plays that we're looking for daily. VWAP retracements on stocks that we believe are strong, and we got it yesterday with Nvidia on a weak move, right? That was the number 1 trade for me yesterday, was that. And then right here again today, we're trying it one more time, and it looks like we're good to go here so far on Robinhood on that play. So let's just go through and see if we can get some more wins. But so far, so good here on that Robinhood call.
Yeah, we love Robinhood. It's a
38.
great one. And remember, look, at the end of the day, like everyone acknew that Roaring Kitty would be talking. That said, I expected you'd get a little bit more action and buy action. VWAP just came in here on Google here, so I did get that fill underneath 77. But we are now, the NASDAQ's actually pressing to the upside. Let me get over to Apple and Nvidia. Apple still hasn't taken out the high.
good.
Nvidia still hasn't
Gucci.
broken out the high just yet, but it looks like it's trying to. AMD with a good bounce back into VWAP here, so higher lows on AMD. I think this is a strong one relatively. I'm still chilling in Rivian, and the fact the market's going up and Google's flat means it's still relatively weak as far as I'm concerned. So I'd rather be long on Nvidia breaking 1200 or AMD above VWAP as opposed to Google, which can't even seem to get off the tops here. GameStop's still doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah, it's too bad. That said, I think there is an opportunity maybe once Roaring Kitty is speaking or maybe right before it. So you got to be tuned in. We're here all day long. So if there's any big move, I'm taking pretty much almost every significant break level or halt, I'm making a play. And then if that play works, that'll be the entire day for me on the stock. That's just how it is.
Yeah. And we took out 60% of Robinhood because honestly, man, let's go. Like that just fell right into VWAP. We got some out at the 50 period. This took off way more than I thought it would. Maybe Robinhood can get back into those 60s and we'll take another piece out. I was trying to layer the bid, by the way. Here goes GameStop. Hey, look, because we're doing it, why not? I mean, we're looking for more than $1, but hey, just went to the dollar club, breaking through 37 again, but then it stopped. So there it is. Like if you guys are long like me at 36 right now, we've just stopped like 3 times. 37 has been a monster level, and I would just feel like I'm not doing my duty here by not saying that, because here it comes again, right back to 37. So I'm holding the long for myself. We'll be close to day's high right here today for my P&L. I mean, Robinhood's helping that out with a nice move. Tesla now $1 and change in the money. That's helping that out. And there's the stop spot again.
37.50 looks like a breakout.
Yeah, you're not in this one
I'm
yet, but yeah, no,
I'm only taking a break now.
Yeah,
I just want to break up.
Yeah, 12 o'clock, we still are expecting the roaring one to come through. So we'll wait to see if that, I mean, we don't have to wait to say anything. I believe it will come through, and I mean, that is what he's going to do. So we'll wait to see what happens here with Roaring Kitty coming through at 12 o'clock. We could just get a piece out now and then hold. I mean, it seems like it keeps on doing this move. I'm not just going to do that. We want to, I mean, we could make a little bit of money here, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, but I'm going to try to make a lot. So let's see if it breaks through 37 right now. We're willing to lose a little or make a lot. So that's kind of my logic with this. Let's see what happens.
I think that's the play. Like, look for spots to be in, and if you can get in at a good spot that you like, it allows you to take some profit and then hold it for a bigger move, anticipating that when he gets on, something crazy could happen. The market just broke a little bit higher, so I'm not going to reload Google. So Google did the dip off of VWAP, and then came in, got some 70s, but look at the NASDAQ going. Yeah, that's not a situation where I want to reload. I'm going to get out if it breaks 77. All of a sudden, you're starting to wake up in this market a little bit. AMD is breaking out of VWAP, so I like this 68. We'll try to get any kind of a buy dip. I'm still in Rivian. That's still bouncing off VWAP, but nothing too crazy. And I've decided I am going to take 37.50 break on GameStop. I'm not going to sit there staring at it because it keeps rejecting 37. The longer I stare at it, the more it's not going to happen. I think of that like Nvidia 1200. I'm trying not to stare at it, but the longer I look, the less likely this is going to happen. It seemed like it was inevitable at one point, and that was an hour ago here on Nvidia. Let's go to the desk. We've got Brendan, and we've got Sector Watch.
Not a heck of a lot to look at, as you guys have been mentioning. Pretty quiet overall right now. Strength coming from some of the healthcare names, Eli Lilly specifically, J&J to the upside, to the tune of more than a full percent. Some of the banks looking pretty good so far today as well. JP Morgan up more than 1.5%. Berkshire, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, Goldman, all green on the day. Tech. Yeah, not much to look at, really. NVIDIA downside, as we saw in the pre-market there. Broadcom, AMD, however, offsetting back to the upside. Payment names are strong. Energy strong, with oil heading higher. Guys, some weakness in the retail side of things as well, offsetting for the overall market.
All right, so GameStop does get that 37.50 break.
But immediately fails. Immediately.
But immediately fails, yeah. So yeah, there's that break, and it immediately failed. So it went to 37.75 or so. So I'm going to wait at 38 to get out of a piece. I mean, I said that I didn't want to make little money. I wanted to make a lot of money. $2 to get out of a third of it, I think that's fine considering sort of the levels that we're looking at right now, and another rejection right there. So, you know, I think we're just adding fuel to the fire. We just hear that Andrew left. Will be joining this halftime show there at the same time that Roaring Kitty's on. Like, what a surprise. Everybody's looking, like we are too, for eyeballs on this. We're going to be the only ones live trading it. So watch us here and, you know, get your goods. I mean, we're already long. I've already executed many trades on this name and continue to be here for it. So let's just wait. I mean, we didn't even take $1.50, $2 there when we just had $2 and didn't take it. So let's be, you know, cautiously optimistic here for GameStop that it continues this move. But it would be something else if this guy just unloads all of his position or adds to it.
Cannot see that
come through halftime. We just got out of AMC because I'm not interested in it anymore. It's doing absolutely nothing and is just taking up mental capacity, which is very limited to begin with. So I'm not going to look at AMC anymore. Hard pass on that one. Tesla's the baby of them all, baby, right now. And as John Travolta goes, hey, this guy's trading GameStop, but let's not sleep on the damage that's being put on the board over here as well. It's Robinhood. This was a monster trade, honestly. I mean, we love this retracement back into VWAP. We do this all the time, every time. I like this trade. Futures bounced off 19,000, another thing that we had wrote down there on the sticky note. And here comes GameStop. You see, what a fail up there at 38. Now bringing back down into 36.
Right
so
to the bottom.
Here we go. I mean, our stop is already there. So obviously it's going to look foolish when you don't take outs when outs are there, but we've explained it, and we are completely comfortable with every decision that we've made and going to continue that way. So let's now wait to see what happens here with GameStop back into 35 and change. Not worth reloading or anything for me. We're just going to wait and let this thing settle down. Hour 15 away from the live stream. Maybe that's just what everybody's looking for.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You know, so that 37, we're already ready to get out if it goes back.
It's going to be hilarious. You have one side talking about their case for the long, and you have the other side talking about Andrew left talking about the case for the short. It's just going to be wild. And only one place where you're going to see the actual action here live. Someone just told me don't look at the Intel chart. No, why wouldn't I? There's opportunity cost misses everywhere. Intel's not one of them for me because I wasn't looking at it. Meta probably. I'd argue Meta more so because it was strong and it broke out that top. I did get out. I'll show you what happened like very, very quickly because I said I was going to take that 37.5 break. We'll zoom it right back in. It either works right away. Like I said, try to lose small, tight in there. And if it breaks, maybe you get an up halt, anything like that. If it sets up another one of those, I probably take another. It just is what it is. I want to take that shot. We were looking at some other possible squeeze names. One of them was Carvana. It looked like it had a chance to consolidate and break out the high. Clearly it didn't, or we probably would be involved in it. Bracket and VWAP. Looks like a lot of these have fallen back into sleep. I thought there'd be action on Novavax, spicier than this. NVAX trending down, although it's catching a bit itself. If this can get above VWAP, maybe it goes on its own. Novavax is a squeeze name that actually has news. So there's actual good news with this company multiple times in the last week. It's a 30-something% short float. You know, they had going concern issues, and all of a sudden it's been doing this, and it's pulling right back into some decent theoretical support at like 17. I'm just pointing at the chart, like line on the chart, top at 17, couple bottoms at 17. If it's going to bottom out here, I think that's a pretty solid level. Can it actually go without GameStop doing anything is the real question. I'd be more inclined to think that can happen in Novavax than something like AMC.
As we pull back into VWAP, yeah, at Brian Shannon. One more time, our good friend Brian Shannon coming through. And look, I mean, I'm just loving this Robinhood trade. We just got out another piece. We only have 30% left. And I mean, and right now, we're going to go $1 and $2 now in the money on Tesla. And so far, just to talk about what we've been doing here on Robinhood and what this sticky note is all about. I mean, if you're just going to look for it right now, and thank you for watching us, of course, here live at Trader TV Live. You've now found the best, and we're glad to be there for you, for sure. This is what we talked about earlier. There it is, Tesla long, Robinhood long, have yet to find a level for Palantir, so we'll go 1, 2, 3 stocks, 3 for 3, and then we just got to wait for Apple and Palantir, so just a couple of ideas. And again, these are just, like I say here, hot stocks that I'm looking at in today's trade, levels, ideas, a little bit of an explanation there so we can all have a quick look, because look what's happening to Tesla right now. And there it is, man, props up that play. Remember we said, shh. We're trading some Tesla there. Not only that, we were quiet enough to load it up down there near the bottom for Tesla. Came back in a couple times, and there's the breakthrough trying to break through 179 as the day goes. So good trade there. GameStop is the only thing that's really on my mind because I feel like we're going to get triggered on this at some point, and it looks like it's going to be lower. So for right now,
it's not over yet.
No, I don't think it's far from over.
It just has
my
to
trade.
Hold on to 12. If it holds on to the bottom until 12 o'clock, I think it gets a little bit better. I got to slap a huge. I knew I was going to take a lot of trades in GameStop today, and I don't question that one bit because I think the opportunity is still going to be there. But I'm slapping the fail on myself because I said I'll take one idea in DocuSign, and that would be it opens up and tags 10% to the downside and look for the retracement. But I did that thing where I got in as it's still coming down. So see that? That's all red. This is it breaking the post-market lows. And then it puts in this bottom wick and goes back into the green. This is $49 even. You punch back long through 49 is the trade. Usually that's the way we're able to do it. I've had level 2s up on GameStop and AMC and looking at a lot of other stuff. It's not an excuse, it's just the truth. And then it's a clean move back in on DocuSign. Maybe it pulls back in, gives you VWAP at 50, but that trade is come and gone. If you're looking for those like mean reversion trades, that was a pretty decent one for you on DocuSign. I look up and Nvidia is still not doing anything. Yeah. I can be patient. We waited.
Well, we have to be patient. It's like
we waited 90 minutes the last time this stock wanted to break 1,200. I can wait. If it doesn't break 1,200, I probably don't trade it today. 1180. Sorry, were your chances off those lows. I don't really like anything coiling in here. It's got to be the break.
Pound them sirens right now because you can see what's happening with Tesla. And there it goes, man. Huge move now. $2 and change now in the money on Tesla as it just continues to climb higher into day's high again. Shout out to everybody that's out there looking at Tesla and not just meme stocks. I mean, we're all over the meme stocks today. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, let's just talk about what we do best. So this Robinhood trade, bang. Huge one there for us, right? So we're gonna go 2 for 2 today in our trading ideas. Robinhood and Tesla, 2 for 2 and both monstrous. The number 1 P&L names here on the show today, Robinhood and Tesla, followed by, obviously you had a great BlackBerry trade there as well. AMC for me is gonna be my number 1 meme stock.
More into this stock.
Yeah, for sure. And then we'll sit here on GameStop and be able to watch out to see what happens here because we are red on GameStop because of this last play right there. But barely. So we're just holding on. I mean, it's going to be all dependent on what this position is happening right now. But not a huge day. A couple traders green. Like I said, the P&L, it hasn't really been doing too much. So we'll wait to see. I mean, a nice move back to 38 would definitely get your boy excited. And we all always excited when we have Brendan on the desk, especially when it's money talks.
Lulu's breaking out.
And apparently Lulu's breaking out.
Strong day, guys, for the USD coming on the back of this jobs number this morning. If you missed it, much higher than expected. May jobs report out at 8:30. I'll tell you more about that in a second. But yeah, 104.75 coming back into play here for the DXY. Huge spike back to the upside at 8:30 when we got that. That is the 10-year. So if you zoom out a little bit to interest rate or yields anyways, the longer term yields much higher than shorter term right now. So the 10-year up huge on the day, back to 4.42 currently. 30-year is chopping around 4.5 once again. So you got to zoom out, as I mentioned. But if you missed it, 272,000 jobs last month. That was versus 185,000 expected. More importantly, the revision showed 15,000 fewer jobs created in March. So that came off of, remember, what was already a bit of a miss on the last one as well. So they revised the last one downside and made it a little bit more important that this one was better, but not so much. 272 versus 185, guys.
Yeah, not so much is an understatement for that number. Another thing that is moving, so I kind of briefly said Lululemon was trying to break out. Well, Under Armour has broken out. Nike has broken out. Lululemon's just trying to follow in their footsteps. Up 2%. It is trending to the upside. That break, remember all week we're like, yeah, 96. There's 96 on Nike. There's still more than a half a day to go here, so if it wants to continue this break, whether you join late, it doesn't really matter as long as it continues to go higher. So it's done a couple of dips back in, none to VWAP, previous top 97. Look for it to hold a trend. If it holds trend, that's somewhere around like 96.8, 96.9 into that 97 level. So it's looking pretty good here on Nike to said upside. I think I'd want to be joining that one if I could. That said, you know, you're late to the party. The 96 break was gorgeous.
All right, we're going to get out at 179 here on Tesla. I mean, we were just watching it. We only have we have a decent spot left, but I mean, I don't know. I still think a little bit higher on that, so I don't necessarily want to get out. We only have 7 minutes until we go over to today. A special guest. We have Obi. So Obi's going to be there with the professor on the midday show. What is the lesson today?
We're talking about short squeeze.
Short squeezes. Okay, perfect. All week. So it's been very, very topical in there today. Sorry?
Good one.
Liquidity traps, perfect. So exactly same.
That's a good topic.
Yeah, so great topic there. We're gonna have a couple liquidity traps, it seems like, to be discussing on this name with GameStop. I feel like people may be trapped for sure. $38 north of that somewhere, because every single time it comes up there, it's either met by sellers. It tried to halt 3 or 4 times in and around this area. Both times comes right back down into the downside there, so could not get going. And what I mean by trying to halt, I mean you did have a move there to the upside. And by the way, there it is. We will end it right there as AMC and Tesla kind of go back to back right there with nets. So for me, we have those trades. Those are going to be big ones for myself. And again, the only 2 stocks that we've actually traded today without meme stocks. So AMC is going to be my P&L number 1. Tesla's my P&L number 2, but they're dollars within each other. And then Robinhood will be here as well. We're still holding on to 30% of that one. So again, a really big day to trade here today. Just hoping that GameStop gets, you know, that sort of love back upside right now. And that's what we're waiting for. So let's see. It's GameStop. We have it. No, Nimit, unfortunately, when Roaring Kitty will be live, I will be here at my desk. So I think so anyways. Yeah. But it will be Sharif and Obi.
We'll be,
that will be on,
they'll be
on the 1s and 2s.
We'll be right here.
Right there, we averaged in. Here comes GameStop right now, breaking through $35. This is the absolute line in the sand for me.
It's the
yeah, if we break lower than this, then we're out. We've already sort of identified those trades. Those are my areas of getting out now, only because of exactly what Nimit just mentioned there in the chat. The party is starting later, all right? So for right now, either this is positioning heading into what may or may not be happening in an hour with Roaring Kitty back on TV. Is it an exit liquidity situation for many traders? Is it an opportunity to get more because the base case will be built and we'll be able to figure all this out? But for me, for right now, it's kind of a wait and see opportunity. So that's what I'm doing as we wait and see the eventual move in GameStop. If it breaks 35, we're gone. We'll average some out here. We'll get something out at 36 because we just got a 35 low bid. But for right now, hands off, and let's see what winds up happening with GameStop.
Yeah, I think the only 2 things I'm looking for in GameStop is either a break of a high or a false break of a low. So either it breaks out one of these tops, 37.5 be the next one, 39 would be one, or it gets to one of these, the low, like the low of the day, 34. Like, see why I tried the bid in here? Like, if it does this again, I'd rather it run the stops and then try to get in on the way back up if it rinses stop levels. So if it rinses everybody's stop at the low of the day, then I want to try to jump back in that direction. Like, I want to be involved in a momentum move as opposed to anything else. When I was saying, like, should I have gotten more, like I should have gotten more into BlackBerry because I wasn't quite fast enough. My first instinct when GameStop went into that halt was to try to go over there and AMC instead of just punching whatever I could get on BlackBerry and then adding to it. So I didn't do that, and it's not moving nearly as much as yesterday. But all I will say is this trade, every time at the open, GameStop has brought things up and then tanked, it's just been kind of free money because GameStop's already halted and falling, and you just get the top of the stock, which has no business going up. And it doesn't matter what you look at. Sometimes it's KOSS, KOSS. This is it at the open, 9:30. It grabs the top, and it just falls right back in when GameStop goes to the downside. It's the exact same thing yesterday. Like, this top is when GameStop is halting, and you can have it. So you just kind of pick one. The reason I pick BlackBerry is because shorts are free for us at Real Trading on BlackBerry. You don't even have to pay for locates on that stock, whereas you probably do for KOSS. GameStop is at that 35 level. As I said, a false break of the low would be the way I'd look to get into it. So we'll see if it happens. We only got about 2 or 3 minutes to go, but we might actually get a run of this low before that happens.
Oh, there it goes. GameStop just broke lower there, so through 35. And for some reason, I did not get executed, so we will get out right now on that break lower. So I must have canceled that order or something, but there it goes. Oh, script failed. Let me see why that happened. I'll figure that out after, but we are out. So there it goes. We'll slap a fail. I mean, we were waiting for, we got a good price out. We got 34.80, so probably better than smacking the low, actually, when it broke. So, all right, we'll take the L there on that last little dollar for us on GameStop. We were long at 35.50 there and broke through. We got out at 34.80, but there's the break lower. And it sucks because we will be red on GameStop, as we explained to you there today. But, it's kind of like, oh, well, I mean, we're
If
still...
you're not willing to lose on GameStop today, then you're never willing to trade it.
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like that, honestly, pretty much like every day about all the trades that I'm trying to put on. So for me, for GameStop today, exactly that. Like, we came in, we knew we wanted to go long on this name, and we did, and we nailed it. We had a great run early on it, and then we, rose-colored glasses like a lot of us. It's still in the spot where it's not moving. It's just... we have to be flat at the end of every day. I have risk parameters that I, attend to all the time. And it just, for right now, pretty happy with what we're doing on GameStop. Let's just wait for noon, which is now an hour away. Oh, because we have over 8,000 people watching, I mean, honestly, if you're not part of this, Saturday we've got a new episode. Over 806, we can refresh this. Go hit the like, hit the subscribe on this podcast. Almost 900 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. Real cool, man. Trading hacks. Comply or die. Okay, you're fired. Becoming a trader. Harsh. Day trading debunked. These are all short form videos from the pod. So the podcast is right here. It's a big one. It's awesome. The quality is through the roof. Shout out to everybody that's been working on this for us. And we couldn't do it without everybody else. So Ramin, Fabian, Mark, everybody in the back. Big shout out to Brendan, who's putting it all together as well. So we're here. Lots of fun stuff. Reels, all this stuff coming through on Saturday, the new drop, as they say. So it should be a fun one here. We have lots of fun. So go check it out. We talk a little bit about compounding interest, compounding some of your abilities and capabilities, and rolling them into a more successful lifestyle, which will in turn roll into hopefully a little bit more freedom, eventually ending in wealth, especially if you shorted GameStop. But we don't talk about those kind of things. Yeah. We don't talk about market specific intraday things. It's more the grand scale. It's more, let's talk about what people want to talk about, right? We do this stuff every single day here on the show. So this is reaching out to a brand new audience. The feedback has been absolutely fantastic. So if you like
life stuff, trading is trading, exactly. Life is life.
If you like real, then hopefully you'll like the trading. And I know that you will. There we go. T-Money just subscribed. Thank you so much for that, T-Money. But you're gonna like it. So leave feedbacks and leave comments. That's the most important thing, so we can keep on improving the show. But 1 hour to go. And
then the show. The
real show. Look at that out on Tesla. By the way,
I feel like there's gonna be way more action in GameStop for the midday guys, which is great because the topic that we're about to throw you to is short squeezing. So let's get on over. We've got Obi filling in for Adara.
We have Obi. We have Obi in the building.
Let's go. It's Learn to Trade, everybody. Good luck.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as that mid.